What's going on? Uh-oh. I fear this may not be sending out notifications today. Let's see here. See if this sends out notifications. What's going on, everybody? Would appreciate everybody hitting the thumbs up button as you come in here, making sure you are subscribed, contributing to the gifting goal. All of those things help push the live out to the algorithm on YouTube. We discussed a lot of stuff today on TikTok. We went over the Ashley St. Clair stuff. Which was, I think it's more troubling people's reaction to it and their willingness to just believe people at will. But I guess we'll take it a step at a time. Hopefully this is going to be looked into and investigated, and we can go a step further on that. She needs to be giving testimony under oath, not talking on TikTok. So maybe because tomorrow is Friday. Tomorrow's Friday, so that's not bad. I did turn the phone lines on here. We got a bunch of random calls here. I guess we'll call some of them back. Let's see who called. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Is this, what's your friend name? Adam. Is this Adam's dad?
This is Adam, yes.
Oh, well, no, I think I have the wrong.
No, I don't. How'd you know who I was if I have the wrong number?
We're looking for a kid, a child.
Someone called from this number 3 times. Was it a child?
Yes, they're
Okay,
looking for their friend. His
Then
name is Adam.
no,
So it's a wrong-
no, they're not. Have them stop calling my channel, please. They're calling. I'm on YouTube and they spam call my chat. Thank you. They're not looking for their friend, Adam. They're looking to spam my phone number. Lordy. They're looking for their friend, Adam. No, they're looking to prank call a YouTube channel. Stop letting your little kids have cell phones, for the love of God. God. Parents that let their 10-year-olds have cell phones to call people on YouTube.
3, 5, 1.
Of course she's defending it. That's why the kid does it. Imagine being a parent and letting your little child prank people on a political YouTube channel. And then when that political person calls you back, you say, no, he's looking for his friend. Does that make any sense? You think he's looking through the phone book for all the Adams and he called the wrong Adam? Like, Jesus Christ. You think the mother would show some type of concern that he's calling people on YouTube? Janka, stop crying and calling in. Listen, I know Trump supporters like to cry. It happens when you talk to your father, right? I know you guys voted for a PDF file. It upsets you, I understand that. But I put a phone number up there for you to call, 908-652-3703. If you disagree with me, I'm not interested in your complaining. I'm only interested in you calling. And if you aren't going to call, then quit crying. Yeah, that Janka person's scared to call. That's all it is. They're scared to call. They've commented in here before. Like, you can literally look at the activity. They've commented in here before. Alicia with the $10 super chat. Let's go. Let's go, Alicia. Thank you so much for supporting the live. Alicia in the chat. Phobos, I don't know. Why don't you give a call in and we'll talk about it? I think you guys are really jealous about Kamala Harris, really, honestly. I think you're jealous about Kamala Harris. New hat? No, this is my golfing hat. I just didn't change my other hat. Your whole channel, bro, is you little... Bro, shut up and call in. No one's interested in you crying. You're crying right now in my chat. No one's interested. All right? Epstein lover? No one's interested, Epstein lover. All right? Stay away from kids. Epstein lover. I don't know. They probably sent it before I put the goal up. Sometimes that happens. Listen, Phobos, I'm giving you one last chance to call in. Otherwise, I'm just putting you in timeout, right? Here, we'll start with 1 minute to prevent your crying, okay? We'll start with just doing that really quick. Boom. And now you're silenced because you're scared to call in. All right, let's see here. (253) This number called as well. I'll leave him a Trump message.
Hello?
Who is this?
You called us.
No, you called. Don't call YouTube channels, weirdo. Or I'm telling your mom. You called us. You called me 17 times in the last 24 hours. I need some good info to convince my parents that Trump is a lost cause. I would point to the Epstein files is the easiest way to convince people who are not super, like, intelligent, because you can obviously, I mean, I think most people, although if they're aware of it and they still support him, don't even bother. But the Epstein files in particular are probably I think the best way to, like, people should be morally outraged about that. And I think it's the best way to get through to people that he's not on your side and he's only interested in protecting himself. Obviously, you can get into a million different reasons. I could give you 1,500 reasons, but that's a good place to start. Phobos, stop crying in the chat. You're fucking scared. Keep crying, you little baby. You're scared. You and your failed YouTube channel. Shut your ass up. I'm your daddy. It doesn't matter if they don't believe the files or not. The files are, it doesn't matter if they don't believe it. It's like not believing the sky is blue. You can show them. You can quite literally show them. You know, that's, in my opinion, that's the best way to do it. Google the phone number like North New Jersey. Yeah, that's my real phone number, you chud. You would think that, chud. Yes, they do, Johnny boy. But you can call in. We're not explaining it in the chat. We got a lot of triggered Trumpers in the chat today. Let's just all enjoy it for a second. Everybody take a step back and just look at the triggered Trump supporters. Look at the triggered Trump supporters in the chat. Everyone sit back and just laugh. Of course he has a failed channel. My dad finally turned against Trump over the war and gas prices. Him realizing Trump sold our oil to other countries while we're here. Woke him up. It's not bad, Shorty. Keep working on it, though, because they fall back into it. Yeah, they're just crybabies. I mean, they literally fucking believe whatever it is. It's sad. I mean, think about it. You know what I mean? We're approaching the midterms here. Things are going to get pretty fucking ugly because a lot of these chuds are going to come out of their little holes, you know? A lot of them disengage because they're not regularly into politics. So they're going to start engaging again, and we're going to get a lot more of these low IQ simpletons, these people who support Epstein, you know, coming out of the woodwork. The corruption with the DOJ is turning my dad. Again, not a bad way to go. I mean, but again, that's the Epstein files. That's one of the easiest things to lay out. Like, if you really want to talk about it, there is no doubting, right, that the Department of Justice is currently breaking the law. Right? The Department of Justice is currently breaking the law to protect the president. You can very easily prove that. Just show them the Epstein Transparency Act. Play statements made by, like, Massey and Ro Khanna that authored the bill. Talk about the fact that they haven't released it. David, keep crying in the chat. You're in here watching me because I'm your king. And that's it. Just remember that, you little cuck. Please, no Bible stuff. Sorry, sometimes the Bible comes up in debates. I don't know what to tell you. It's a part of debating people in the United States. Edward, I put a phone number up there. If you're scared to call in, just admit it. Okay, that's perfectly fine if you're scared to call in. But just admit it. Say, yeah, I'm scared to call in, Daddy Adam. I'm scared to speak to you because I know that you have the answers and I don't. The DOJ is corrupt as fuck. I don't believe anything this Department of Justice said. This Department of Justice is so wildly out of line, it's not even funny. Todd Blanche is a complete fucking clown. And you'll never convince me otherwise. But I've been calling that out since the very beginning. That it was a conflict of interest.
Call
but
from our...
Of course it was overlooked. Call me again, I'm calling your mother. Even these little kids are braver than these MAGA chuds that support Epstein.
Call from...
How old are you? You gonna speak?
Hello?
Yeah, speak. Are you a
Can
Trump
you hear me?
supporter? Yeah, I can hear you. What's up?
Yes, I am. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. What's going on?
Not much. He's a pretty good president. He blocked a lot of trans bullshit. You know, you shouldn't make kids trans. It's against God.
Really quick, the person in the chat that said, was Todd Blanche involved in the settlement? Yes, Todd Blanche was involved in the settlement. He signed the Justice Department agreement that created the fund and included the IRS provision that we've been talking about. So yes, he absolutely was involved. Sorry, what did you say? It's against God?
Yeah, it's against God to make kids trans because there's no such thing.
Well, that's not happening.
Yes, it is.
Now let's have a conversation without you crashing
Trans
out.
people are grooming kids around the world because they can't fucking make kids of their own, so they have to fucking groom little kids because they're pedos.
They can't make kids of their own. What are you talking about? All right. So
gay guys like you can't make kids of their
have
own, so you have to groom little kids to be gay because you're a pedo.
I have kids.
Yeah, we know. You probably touch them, you libtard pedo.
Oh my God.
You libtard pedo.
Just crash out. Is this your real number?
Yep.
It is. This is. Your
I'm not
real
crashing
number.
out.
This is your real
What, are you going to
number.
dox me, you little fucking pedo groomer?
This is your real number. You voted for an Epstein client.
No. What's a woman?
You
What's a
voted
woman,
for an
soy
Epstein
boy?
client.
What's a woman, soy boy?
You voted for an Epstein
What's a
client,
woman, soy
Keto.
boy?
You voted for an
What's a
Epstein
woman, soy boy?
Anthony.
Yeah, you can't. You don't know what a woman is.
Anthony, calm
You don't
down.
have kids.
Anthony,
you touch them, you
Anthony,
pedo.
Anthony.
You and your boyfriend adopted them, so you could touch them, you
right.
pedo.
ATM
You and your
painting.
boyfriend adopted kids,
ATM
pedo.
painting. ATM
What,
painting.
pedo?
Hey,
What,
ATM
pedo?
painting. Is that
What,
you?
groomer pedo? What are you, a pedo? Everybody knows your name, pedo Adam.
Anthony.
Hey, pedo Adam.
So, guys,
hey,
if you-
pedo Adam.
Watch this.
Hey,
guys.
pedo Adam.
Hey, guys, watch this real quick. Do you guys look up ATM painting? Right? ATM painting. Professional, reliable, affordable, custom projects. ATM painting 225 at gmail.com. Anthony. I'm gonna make a video on you, Anthony. I'm gonna make a video on you, Anthony. It's gonna go on TikTok to my thousands of followers. It's gonna be. The reason I let you crash out is for the video. Then I'm gonna attach your business to it. I'm gonna attach your business to it. Do people in the area know that you're a bigot? Do people in your area where you live know you're a bigot? Do people who use your business know you're a bigot? Do they? I'm just wondering. Let's see. TM painting. Just saying, man. Bigotry is not cool, bro. That's weird as fuck. You know, Adam, calm the fuck down. All right? I can only move so quickly. Let's see. I mean, listen, if you say you stand 10 toes down on it, right? I stand 10 toes down on it too. I stand 10 toes down on it too. That's what I do. That one was Anthony, by the way, just so you know, too. Ba-boom! By the way, W the transgender community. W the transgender community. W for human rights. W for not being a bigot. Especially when guys voted for Epstein. I find it remarkable that they would use the P word. See that? Right here. By the way, it was Anthony. Just so if you're wondering who it was Anthony. Just in case you're wondering. Good luck, Anthony. STN Rodriguez, thank you for the $2 super chat. Appreciate you. He was projecting? Of course he was. Of course he was. Yeah, go ahead. They just posted this, let's see, May 2025. If we go to he doesn't even have a working website. It's a failure of a business, but either way. Christy, thank you so much, Christy. I don't know. I'm currently live, so I have to do it when I get off of here, but that's what I have as of right now. A little failed paint business from the Epstein supporter. Listen, stand 10 toes down, man. You know, like if you can't have just a normal conversation, you want to be a bigoted piece of shit instead of debating, stand 10 toes down on it. That's what you should do. Stand 10 toes down on the motherfucker. Are we surprised? No, we're not surprised. Bro, the number was literally on there. You got to do, if you want to do that, do some work there. Go to Google.
Hello.
Yeah, are you a Trump supporter?
No, sir, I'm a nigger supporter.
Ah, okay. So you're a clown.
Are you?
You're a clown. Figured you were. God, these people are fucking deplorable. I'll tell you one thing Hillary was so right about is basket of deplorables, because that couldn't have been more spot on. Like at the time, I was like, yeah, that's probably true, but nowadays I'm like, damn, that couldn't be more fucking true. Yes, are you a Trump supporter?
I am a child.
Oh my God, then stop calling my live, you creep. Where are these kids' parents? Oh, Trump is ready. Like it's like that mother before. Like, yeah, I let my little kid call random YouTube channels. Like, who's giving these little kids phone numbers to even call my fucking live? Oh yeah, I mean, this is what these people do. By the way, guys, Anthony wrote here over 25 years of trusted experience. High quality interior and exterior work. Clean, on time, and affordable. Stop calling me clown. You're not coming on the live. Let me block his number really quick. You just permanently got your number blocked, Goofy, so you'll never be calling it again. Hope it was worth it, dumbass. Probably working their third job to afford gas. Facts. Facts. Basket of the Bars was a kind of statement. Dude, I just can't believe how fucking accurate it ended up being, though. Like, these people, it's exactly what they are. Bro, to the guy who keeps asking me for information in chat, I gave you the fucking number. Go to Google and type it in. There's a fucking area code. Like, I'm live. I can't do, like, extensive searching right now. I brought up the fucking thing. Go to Google, type it in. I gave you the fucking email. Here it is, too. Naperville, Illinois. Interior and exterior painting services in Naperville, Illinois. Who's Anna Smith? Does Anna Smith know he's a bigot, too? Let me save this. I got two people calling me right now. A bigot and a fucking child. The child is spamming my fucking phone right now, but he's blocked, so he can't get through. And the bigot is trying to get back on too, and he's also not coming on. Not Anthony the bigot. He's running in fear. The guy who just used the slur, he's not coming back on. Sween Dog says, I'm a radical left lunatic. What makes me radical? Advocating for human rights? Like, what specifically do you think makes me radical? Wanting American citizens to be cared for? Wanting the U.S. to stop fighting Israel's war in the Middle East? What exactly, specifically, makes me radical? Like, let's be honest. What makes me radical? Nothing. Abso-fucking-lutely nothing.
Call from
Jim.
Bro, I'm about to turn off the chat, dude. There's so many annoying fuckers in the chat right now. What's up, dude? Jim, are you a Trump supporter?
Define supporter. Like, he's our president, so I kind of support him, you know?
I mean, who'd you vote for?
I voted for Kamala. I could tell you that everybody I voted for since 2004, which is the first time I could vote in the presidential
You
election.
voted for Kamala Harris and you support Trump?
He's our president. That's how I was raised. You support your president. Your prompt says, is he a bad president? Sure.
Yes.
I'm not going to prove you wrong on that. He's a bad person.
So wait.
He's probably a worse person than a president. I think the worst president goes
He's
back
both.
to like 1912. You know,
No,
I don't really know
he's
what he's
definitely
doing
the worst.
except selling off. That's debatable.
It's
Because,
not.
you know, I think, look, this is
He's
how
the
I
most
see our
corrupt
country.
president we've
Capitalism
ever had.
beat the shit out of democracy. So, like, this is just the end of it. Like, I
He's
don't
very
think it would have
clearly
looked
the
any
worst.
different.
I mean, it's
I just don't
when you look into the Epstein stuff and the extended cover-up
Bad
there
person.
and all of this stuff.
Bad person.
Yeah, but that's
It's
not
bad
that's
person
not
stuff.
a person. That's not just personal. That affects the American people. He's using his
Sure.
Hold on, and listen. He's using his authority as president of the United States to do these things. That absolutely qualifies as an executive duty, right? His executive duty is to protect the interests of the American people, right? The Department of Justice, their duty is to protect the interests of the American people. They don't do that. But I find this fascinating. I'm being honest. You voted for Kamala Harris and you were raised that you should support the president. Can you give me an example of what you mean by, like, support? Because I think we should be doing everything to try and get rid of him.
That was just how people used to talk. I don't know.
Is it?
Like,
That's what I
you
mean.
vote
Is it
for
just
who you vote
Is
for.
it just a phrase,
We wouldn't
or is
go after each other after the election for who they voted for. If the other side won, you know, tipped your cap and wished they did the best job they could. And if a few months into it, it looked terrible, is what it is. Like, this is how it's set up. There's 4 years between elections.
No, there isn't.
Impeachments don't really work. Like, what can you do?
I mean, they can work. I mean, there's more than
Has
just
they? Has it
impeachment
ever?
here. There's more than just impeachment. Well,
Nixon resigned. Like,
under the threat of
other than that-
impeachment. He resigned under the threat of impeachment. He resigned because he would have been impeached. The issue.
yeah,
here-
eventually, maybe.
No, he would have been impeached. He resigned.
Are you talking about
because he would have
Nixon?
been impeached. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to explain to you.
Okay,
is
he
that-
would have been impeached after like maybe 7 years in the office, so he wouldn't have had any time left
But
anyway.
there would have been a.
What did it have mattered?
It would
What's
have.
the point there?
Well, there would have been more.
People supported him.
Okay, so let me just break this down. Okay, the what you're saying is that we should support him and get on board with his agenda, is what you're making it seem like.
No, I just want you to recognize what you can do and what you can't do. You can support him because that's what people used to always do, and that's all you're left with at this
And what
point.
would
Or you
that do?
cannot, and
Give me
you're
an
just,
example of
punching
support,
holes in
though.
your wall.
Give me an example of supporting him.
Oh, I have no idea. It's more, I guess, like a vibe. You know, we wouldn't be doing this thing like calling into shows and immediately demanding who you voted for. Like, there's no
It's a
receipt on this. It
political
doesn't
live.
matter.
It's a political live. So clearly, I want to know who you supported for. Listen, you're kind of bizarre. I don't know. This is a political live. Clearly, I
Yeah,
want
I
to know
don't
who you
represent
voted
people,
for.
too. That's the other thing. Everybody's different. People tend to vary. Like, I don't need to represent all of one side. Like, everything doesn't have to represent half of everything all the time. Like, there's variance to all this. Like, I go
don't
back
think
to
you
1912.
understand.
Look
Hold
at
on. I don't
1912,
understand.
like
I don't
Federal
think you
Reserve.
understand the gravity of what's happening right now. I mean, there's no way
don't.
anyone would speak this way if they knew
Why?
what was that. Because Donald Trump is a fascist who's currently
He's terrible.
destroying
He's a
our
bad-
Hold on. Shut up.
Dude,
I'm talking. Donald Trump is a fascist who's currently destroying our system of democracy. Okay? Who's currently destroying our system. You disagree?
Yeah.
Really? Okay. So, really, so do you think Donald Trump, throughout his time in office, let's start back to the first time he tried to overthrow the government. Was that an attempt to overthrow the government and destroy democracy?
The democracy has been broken since 1912.
So now you're saying that it doesn't matter because democracy's already
No,
broken?
I'm not saying it doesn't matter. I'm just saying you said
we have a
destroying our
dictator?
democracy. I'm saying you can't break something that's broken.
Do we have a dictator?
You want to have a
Did
semantics
you just
debate?
say who
I'm not
fucking
doing this. I watch a lot of these YouTube shows and it don't.
Listen, I hate to say it. You're not smart enough for the conversation. I tried, but you don't get it. We don't have a dictator. Saying who cares when I say do we have a dictator, which we don't currently, but we could very easily. Your answer to that is who cares means you're not smart enough to have the conversation. No offense. You're just not. And it's too dumb for words. Donald Trump already tried to overthrow the government. He already incited people to storm the United States Capitol. Those people interfered with a democratically approved process.
Call from
A constitutionally protected process. Okay? Donald Trump is not eligible to be president, according to Section 3 of the 14th Amendment. Guys, a Trump supporter in chat just say, you're rude and disrespect ROOD. By the way, wrong
Just a pedo groomer, Adam?
Can you stop talking while I'm speaking? Shut the fuck up. ROOD and disrespectful, period, worthless, lying Democrats. Are you here to debate or cry?
Debate.
Okay, what are you debating?
Trump.
You're debating Trump. All right, what do you like about Trump?
That he's a good president.
All right, why is he a good president?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. No answer?
Yes, I sorry, I cut out. I like the what he's doing with the immigration and stuff, giving them all out and stuff.
Cool. Doing with the immigration and stuff, what policy are you referring to?
Just getting them out, that all the legal immigrants need to go. They shouldn't be here.
So his deportation operation, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And what's your first name?
Tim.
Tim. Okay. So Tim, how do you think that deportation operation has gone? Do you watch the news? I don't know how much like media you consume or anything like that, but have you watched really? So do you think
well, not as good as Obama did.
Do you think it was executed effectively in Minnesota?
Obama got more people out, so I was a little more happy with Obama.
Yeah, and under Obama's deportation operation, American citizens weren't being executed in the street, so there's that.
No, they were just put in cages and wrapped in tinfoil.
Lady Rage, thank you so much. Appreciate you, Lady Rage. You're not seriously bringing up. You're not seriously bringing up cages when Donald Trump deported people to prisons.
Pictures. No. All those pictures
are you going to let me finish?
Trying to say Trump did it. It was
all these guys do, guys. They just crash the fuck out. They can't have a conversation. Lady Rage, thank you so much. I just find it remarkable you're bringing up cages. If you think like I'm going to defend Democrats on every aspect of every issue, you're talking to the wrong
what's
guy.
A woman, Adam?
You're talking
Adam,
to the
what's
wrong
a woman?
guy. Shut the fuck up.
Adam,
We're not playing your what's a woman game.
What's a woman, Adam? You pedo group.
All right. He's scared. He's scared. He's scared. He's scared to have a debate. There's Anthony again. By the way, Anthony, in case you didn't hear me before, right? ATM painting. Let's call him back. Let's call him back. Did he call from a different number this time? Yeah, that's Anthony again. I don't think Anthony knows what's coming. Anthony, you voted for a pedophile. Calling Democrats pedos is laughable. This is Anthony again, guys. It's Anthony again. Let's call him back. Let's get him on recording. I didn't know it was him. Let's get more recording stuff.
Oh, it's Adam the pedo that can't answer. What's a woman?
All right, I'm going to answer. Anthony, ATM painting really quick. And
sure, what's a woman, Adam?
Listen, Anna
Come on,
Smith,
Adam, answer, you dumb fuck.
You know Anna Smith, right?
So?
I am going to fucking destroy you.
You're going to...
Notice how the tone of his voice changed? Notice how the tone of his voice changed? I am going to make sure everyone in Naperville, Illinois knows you are a vile bigot. If I was you, I would be fucking shook. I would be shook. Yes, that is ATM Painting in Naperville, Illinois. If you go over there, you could see like Anna Smith here. And apparently, there's quite a few people that have already, like, I see a comment on here from somebody else saying something about pride or something like this. So apparently, he just needs a little attention. Apparently, that's it. We're going to give it to him. We're going to give him the attention he's so seeking. Sonny, thank you so much for becoming a tadpole. Thank you, Sonny. Appreciate you, Sonny. Listen, guys, Trump supporters, I got to say this, and I hope you guys understand this, okay? It's very easy. Yes, they're on Facebook. ATM Painting, Naperville, Illinois. Go leave them a review. If you need to, go leave them a review, but we'll be making a video on them. Leanne331, thank you for the $4.99 super chat. Thank you, Leanne. Appreciate you. Nope, he's calling back right now. Hold on. Hey, Anthony. This is going to suck, dude. It's going to suck, Anthony. Anthony, there are Facebook groups, right, that represent where you live, Naperville, right? And you can go in there and talk about you, and I'm going to post the vile, transphobic, bigoted shit that you said for the world to hear. So anyone associated with anyone who belongs to that community never uses your business again. You can't hear them because I have the other side muted. Anyone who's gay, anyone who's bi, anyone who's LGBTQIA+, they're never going to use you again, Anthony. You've just significantly hurt your business. But that's on you, right? That's on you, Anthony. You'll have to live with it. Notice how when I asked Anthony right away why he supports Trump, he didn't have an answer. Did you notice that? Because he has no idea why he supports Trump, other than the fact that he supports Jeffrey Epstein, which most Trump supporters do. Are you a Trump supporter?
I used to be.
Yeah, you stopped? Why?
Well, so a little pretext, man. I'm 25, so first time Trump took office, I was 16. But when I voted for him last election, man. But like, it was only because growing up, I went through the first president. Really, one I remember was like Obama, and I just remembered like feeling like a lot of the other nations didn't have respect for the office that he held. Like I remember the incident when Obama got left on the plane, and had to use like the fire escape to get down. And it just like I respected the fact that he brought respect from other nations to our country and like the position he held. But first election compared to this one, I mean, I got to be honest, dude. He's like he's a different man,
I mean, a lot of people say that. I think it has a lot to do with who he's surrounded by, though, because if you know a lot about the Trump administration the first time, he really was surrounded by people who were more or less would choose the Constitution over him. We saw that on January 6th with Mike Pence, right? He wanted Mike Pence to pick him over the Constitution, but that was his thing. Whenever I talk about this with people, I always talk about the fact that his son said the most important part of the election, right, would be the transition process and making sure, right, that he wasn't surrounded by what they called the bureaucracy. And what they mean by that is that he's surrounded by loyalists, not people who have loyalty to democracy, the Constitution, the country, the people of this country, or anything else.
Loyal to him.
Exactly. And I think like a lot of these things he floated the first time. He floated a lot of crazy ideas the first time about shooting protesters in the knees and all sorts of wacky fucking ideas the first time.
Yeah.
And
I think he gets a little out there, man. I'm all for like, I respect the position and got to respect, like, I'm an American. So, I'm not going to like be out here in the streets like telling people like, we should kill our president or whatever. But like, I definitely think he needs to be reined in a little bit, or maybe a lot of it.
Well, I'm not saying that. I mean, I wouldn't say so. I don't advocate for that. But I'm saying
no, yeah, of course not.
What I'm saying is that he doesn't have. He's not working in the interests of the American people. Like the war in Iran is a great example, right?
I agree with that statement.
Even the people who voted for him, a lot of them, right, told him, like, we don't support this. We don't want this. You ran on a no new wars agenda, but he did it anyway. And when he was asked by the press, do you care about, Americans' finances? I mean, Americans, what do you have to say about Americans paying more at the gas pump during an affordability crisis? He said, I don't care about Americans' finances. I mean, that's deeply troubling to me. That's the president of the United States saying that about the American people. I mean, but I'm not surprised by it. It shocked a lot of people who voted for him. It didn't shock me because I've always believed this about him.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, it completely it threw me. And really, I'm gonna be honest. What started opening my eyes was whenever we got involved in Iran, and then on top of that, just watching how throughout this administration. Like, the first administration, I guess you could say a lot of stuff he said he was going to do, at least he attempted to. Dude, I don't feel like anything that he's ran off of in the last campaign is actually being executed in the way that we expected as the people that would have voted for it.
Well, I would say that I don't think that he did everything he promised the first time either, but I think that was a different type of campaign than this one was. This was a much more seasoned campaign in the sense that he had been in politics already. And he made like very distinct promises on what he was going to do. And he absolutely lied. Whether it's
what really got me,
the
man,
Epstein
was
files or not going to war or any of the other things, he's been just completely lied about everything.
Yeah, well, one of the things that really got me recently, man, was and kind of like I guess kind of was a big wake up call and kind of like the final tipping of the straw hat, I guess you could say, was the picture of him in the red robe healing the guy. Like I'm a Christian, man. I didn't really like that, and that just kind of woke me up. And
depicting himself as Jesus, you mean? Let's just say it.
Yes. And then if you've seen, he was reading scripture the other day, and the way that he was reading it, it just felt like he was referring to himself as God. Yeah, and
I truly believe he believes that. I'm not even kidding. I think he thinks. I mean, listen, you have all these people that worship you, not support, worship, absolutely worship him, and
like idolize.
And not only that, but think about the audacity, right? Think about how arrogant you have to be to get up in front of the American people and say, I was attempting to depict myself as a doctor when everyone knows, right?
No way.
I mean, clearly, no way, right? That's something a little kid would say to get out of something like this. But you
gotta have
that comes from his arrogance, though. That comes from the support that he's been given by Trump supporters, unwavering support, dude. This is an issue. Like when I talk to people that recognize this, that are Trump supporters, you need to look inward. The people in your party, there are people defending him right now, not releasing the Epstein files. Like, do you understand how absolutely fucking insane that is? How indoctrinated you have to be to defend a guy not releasing the Epstein files, breaking the law to keep those from the American people?
Well, dude, did you read about how he did I don't know the exact specifics, but I was reading a little bit about it the other day, where they sued the IRS and made it to where they couldn't look into his or his son's tax history.
Right. There was a settlement, and in that settlement, there's a clause essentially that barred the IRS from, and a lot of people have said it's a pledge. It's really not. It's a waiver. It's not a pledge. It's a waiver that basically says that the IRS can't investigate any previous tax crimes leading up to May 2026. Anything on or before May 2026 can't be investigated by the IRS. Now, I have to look into further. I believe that there's probably a way to do that. I'm concerned with how it's written. There's something in there about like two-party consent for modification and stuff like that. But
I haven't.
It's an example.
I'm not well versed in it.
But it's an example of what I'm talking about. It's corruption. The Department of Justice attempting to grant the president tax immunity. This is the same Todd Blanche, currently the acting AG, that is obstructing justice with the Epstein files. It's the same guy.
Yeah, I mean, I read that and I thought it was crazy because I was like, dude, if I didn't pay my taxes in 2019 and they find out about it, I'm still getting in trouble.
Oh yeah, you're gonna get audited.
So like, I don't feel like, yeah, you're president, but I don't feel like you should have immunity to the laws that your citizens that you are representing have to abide by.
It is deeply troubling. And, you know, his affiliates giving money to his allies, the $1.8 billion federal fund to pay out money to his political allies. These are people that, I mean, again, clearly, I don't believe do you recognize the issues with January 6th now?
Yeah, so again, whenever that happened, man, I was like graduating high school. I wasn't really political. I didn't look into it, but I've started recently going back and looking deeper into it because when I was younger, dude, I got a lot of my news just from social media. And I didn't realize back then how like swayed that can be. So I'm starting to go back and read into things, and I'm just like, he definitely did incite that, like that was promoted. That's what he wanted. We got to stand up. We lost the election. Let's take it back. And it's like, brother, it's good sportsmanship. You lost, shake your hand, walk away with your tail tucked, and try again next time.
Yeah, it's just constitutionally, right? Like, this is why I told people from the beginning, like, to recognize there were Trump supporters at the time that were supporting, and constitutionally, he was not eligible to be president again. He had violated the Constitution in Section 3 of the 14th Amendment. He had engaged in insurrection. States had removed him. The Supreme Court came in, changed the application process for that provision. And Trump supporters continued to support him, and that's why I said they shouldn't support him if you support the Constitution. And now he's gotten in there, and he has no respect for any amendment in the Constitution, as we predicted. And so
Keeps
this is why
teasing around with that third term.
But the point I'm making is believe people when they tell you who they are, right? Trump told you who he was when he did that, and people didn't believe that he had no respect for the Constitution. And as he's shown, he has no respect for the Constitution whatsoever.
Yeah, I feel like, man, at this point, he's just trying to leave his mark on as much stuff as he can before he leaves. Like even with the reflection pool, the ballroom. I think what they were getting on to him about the ballroom, so he didn't converted it to saying it was for military use on the roof, so that they couldn't get onto him anymore. And
yeah,
I'm just like,
that whole thing is crazy. I mean, first it was supposed to be privately funded. And now the American taxpayers are going to foot part of the bill. All of it is just insane. Everything's insane. It's not just that. There's a bunch of crazy stuff that he's done, and obviously a lot of it will be reversed when he's gone. I worry less about that right now than him being gone. I'm more concerned that he's not interested in leaving. He just said the other day again,
third term.
Right. And again, people laugh it off like it's funny. It's really not funny, right? I mean, he doesn't.
Especially when you've already seen how loosely he plays with the rules and how easily he blurs that line, and especially with everyone that is, in the lawmaking infrastructure for our government is, red.
Yeah, constitutionally,
so
he just doesn't. I wouldn't even say he blurs the line. I just think he doesn't care. He doesn't care about the courts. He doesn't care about the Constitution. He doesn't care about the rule of law. And I think he's proven those things time and time again. And now people are going to act surprised when he says, well, guess what? I'm not leaving. Right? He said, I might be here in 2028. I might be here in 2032. And I bring these up, and then Trump supporters will be like, well, you're fear-mongering. Well, do you guys think, let's pretend for a second he's joking. Is that funny to joke about not leaving the White House in a democratic system that's concerned about, like, democracy?
Well, I don't believe it is, because if you think about it, man, like, in reality, say he said that he wasn't leaving, and then I feel like you would have two sides of the military. You'd have the sides that are diehard Trump supporters, and you'd have the sides that were like, no, we're for the Constitution, and then that could lead to in my opinion, a civil war.
Oh, it could.
To where
it
you
would be bad.
You see what I'm saying? So
it would be very bad. But I think that. Again, like, I've had this conversation before, what percentage of people in the military. I think most people wouldn't go along with it, but he wouldn't need most people to go along with it to create a real mess.
Right.
I don't know how he would go about it. I'm obviously very concerned about it. There's a lot of stuff happening right now about the midterms and stuff. So really, I'm not going to panic until I see what happens during the midterms, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that concerns me is, in the Constitution, we have the right, one of the reasons we have the right to bear arms is to, overthrow a tyrant government. Well,
technically not true, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah, well, I'm not, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not 100% versed.
Well, I'm pretty versed on the Constitution, I can tell you that nowhere in the Constitution does it give the people the right to overthrow their government.
Well, so
it
like
actually
even
explicitly states the opposite. And any politicians who engage in such behavior are barred from ever holding office again.
Well, I meant like the citizens, like say, a tyrannical government that is, doing its citizens dirty. We would have the right to, stop that. But it's to the point now to where if the people do not have the firepower to compete with the military on that scale, to where even though, everybody has guns, they start rolling out tanks and they start flying over jets and they start doing, we don't stand a chance.
Yeah, it doesn't. This whole idea, this is why I've always, like, in this argument, and I support people's right to bear arms, although I do believe in common sense gun control to make sure children aren't running for their lives in schools. But I am a supporter of the Second Amendment. I'm a gun owner. I own multiple firearms, and I support people's right to defend themselves with firearms. And I would never advocate for taking firearms from people, especially now with what's happening. But what I will say is that in terms of fighting back against the government, listen, our government has drones that literally release blades that kill people with precision accuracy. There is no Second Amendment right that's going to protect you from that. The government has such advanced technology, you would never see it coming. So the idea that we would be able to do this is, I mean, the way we hurt the government is by not spending. I mean, truly, that's what happens. I mean, if we really wanted to hurt them, we would come together and simply stop spending, right? But this idea that we're gonna like rush them with our Second Amendment right is just not realistic. You wouldn't even be able.
And
to
I agree with that.
Let
That's
me
what I was
state
saying.
this second part though is important. Notice how Trump supporters will still claim they're Second Amendment supporters, yet they supported the death of an American citizen in Minnesota, Alex Preddy, who was slammed on the ground, disarmed. They pulled his firearm off him, executed him in the street, and those people were never held responsible. This guy was exercising his constitutional right to carry, folks. He was exercising his First Amendment right. He was thrown on the ground. He was illegally disarmed by federal agents who had no jurisdiction over his person, executed, right? And these people were never held accountable. And the federal government is currently blocking Minnesota from further investigating that case. Regardless of what side of the fence you fall on, if you support the Second Amendment, you should be outraged about that. And they will. This is the cult mentality. They will still come up and defend it and blame him and this and that. And they don't even realize the precedent they're setting. They think this only affects people on the left. I went to where Alex Preddy was murdered. I stood right where Alex Preddy was murdered, right? I went to his memorial. This is a guy who truly cared about what he believed in. And regardless of whether or not you agree with him, he wasn't breaking the law. And even if he was, that wouldn't justify his death, but he wasn't breaking. He was simply protesting and lawfully observing. And his firearm was removed from his person and executed. If that was a Republican and that happened under a Democrat administration, they'd be losing their fucking shit.
Yeah. I mean, dude, where I don't know where you're located, brother. I'm in the great state of South Carolina. Here, we just got open carry laws to where having a firearm on you is no longer a reason for you to be stopped by a cop. Like, that's not. It's just like you can't stop me just because I have a gun on me just to make sure I have a permit. You have to have another reason. And just me as a gun owner hearing things about that. Like, I don't like it when I watch a lot of stuff where people are like wanting to express their rights. Man, I don't think you got no business carrying around an AR-15 in a park, but it's legal, right? I get it, but at the same time, what are you really doing besides just trying to stir up some drama?
Yeah, all I'm saying is that, and again, like I said, I support it. I'm just saying that whether or not you support it or not, you can't support that. Like if you believe at all in the Constitution, you can't support what happened to that individual that day. These rights don't matter anymore. Like if an American citizen can be executed in the street, then Republicans can never argue from my cold dead hands again. You understand? That's what I'm trying to get people to recognize. Their party loyalty, this cultist mentality, right, is setting such a dangerous precedent that they're not going to be able to come back from. So when they complain years later when the federal government is now allowed to do just that to American citizens, regardless of their party affiliation. I don't want to hear people cry. This is why you have to stand up for the Constitution, regardless of what party you're associated with.
I think what a lot of people are thinking is, it's my right, you can't come take it, and they're supporting, blindly thinking that this guy's, fighting for their rights and the freedom for them to, defend themselves. But in reality, he's setting up the system to where it's more stricter and the government has more control to come I don't know the proper impose upon, against your rights.
He's an authoritarian. That's exactly what's happening. Yep, I'm glad you recognize that. Thanks for calling in, dude. Appreciate it.
Yeah, brother, man. Hey, have a good one.
You too. That's exactly what he's doing, right? He's absolutely big government. What happened to small government Republicans? What happened to Republicans that wanted small government? They disappeared. Those people don't even exist anymore. Don't even exist. There's a couple things. Somebody asked me in here, what do I think about Whitey Bulger? Whitey Bulger, the mobster in Massachusetts? What a bizarre question. I don't know. He's dead, number one, and he was a criminal. I think he was a scumbag. I don't know what else to say. But yeah, that's exactly what Trump is doing.
Call from
He's consolidating power, and he's consolidating power to the executive branch, and it's extremely disturbing. Are you a Trump supporter?
I used to be, yes.
You're not anymore?
No, not anymore.
Okay, what's up?
Can I? So I thought Trump would be an empty vessel that the Republican Party can pump their values into, but that ended up being not true. And he had a grip. He has now a grip on the Republican Party. Mm-hmm. But what I'm calling in for, Adam, is to give you a little piece of advice, because I am on your side.
I don't want advice,
Christian, no, not advice. Sorry. When a Christian nationalist calls in on you, because I replied to one of the things that you said about the person who called in about a few days ago, who was an adamant Christian nationalist, who said that they didn't believe that LGBTQ people exist, right? And what I just want to say is you should throw that back at them and just say, I don't believe in your Christian nationalism, but you should ask for respect, even though you don't agree
let me explain that. If I was having a conversation in the street with an asshole, then I would say that. But I want you to recognize something here. My goal when I'm having a conversation and people are willing to have a back and forth without crashing out is to show people in the chat, right, that what these people are saying is not true. Because unfortunately, religion has a grasp on a lot of people in our society, in the United States. Religion affects how people vote. I can't ignore that. So when someone comes up and says something as wrong as the Bible states, if you're gay, you're going to burn in hell for eternity, which is not true, I'm going to correct that information. I'm going to prove that wrong. Yes, in my heart, I don't care whether or not it says it, and I don't believe that Scripture should change. But again, you're thinking of it as if we're having a private conversation in your home. We're not. I'm having a conversation in front of people. So I'm obviously going to prove that person wrong before I just reject, right? Because if I reject, if there's a person that's on the fence there and they're listening and maybe they're Christian and maybe they believe this to be true because they're told it and they haven't actually read Scripture, they might believe that I'm avoiding that because it is true. And so the goal is to initially prove them wrong, okay? You have to say, okay, this is a statement that's incorrect, regardless of whether or not I believe it's credible or that it should have any effect on these people's lives or control their lives. No. That's not the point. I'm not giving it credibility. I'm simply pointing out this is incorrect. This is not stated in Scripture. So that way people listening who may be on the fence, who believe in these values, right, understand that, right? That's the point. If we're having a private conversation, it's a little bit different than if we're having a conversation in front of people with the goal of trying to change some people's minds.
Got it. Okay. Thank you very much. I just wanted to say they ask for automatic respect when they call in and they say, this is what I believe, right? But right away, the next line after that is they say, I don't believe that a man can be a woman or whatever, but they believe that.
Yes, it's not always about them, though. You have to recognize it's also about the people listening. right? The people listening
Right.
are more
Okay,
important
I
than
get
even
it.
the person I'm talking to. The people listening, right, are who are mostly affected by those things. Especially when it gets closer to the election. You'll see as the midterms happen here, you're going to see a lot more of those types of conversations. And you may say to me, why is he even bothering to prove this person wrong? He doesn't believe in the Bible in that way. That's not the point, right? That's entirely not the point, because there are people who do, and it's important to point out that person's not telling the truth.
Right. But you sort of give them respect in the same way that I do. And what you're trying to do is we're trying to ask for the same thing for these LGBTQ, right? Just show a little respect. Call them him or her, and I'll respect your devotion to this God or that God, right? It's just
getting Trump supporters to respect you is not going to happen, dude. But proving them wrong can. So thanks for calling in. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Take
Not
care.
going to waste your time. Thank you.
Take care. And getting Trump supporters to show respect is not going to happen. Proving them wrong, now that's definitely going to happen. Medic, you spelled your wrong. Okay. Do I really need to go over this again? You're looking for apostrophe R-E, medic. Okay. You keep saying this in the chat. You're looking for apostrophe R-E. You are a contraction. It's what we call a contraction in the English language. 2 words. You are separated by an apostrophe. Y-O-U apostrophe R-E. Annette, what's going on? The real reason why he went to China was to ask China not to sell Iran any more supersonic missiles. China said F you and we're going to take Taiwan. There was a lot of things discussed. I need to make a new goal, though. And guys, I would appreciate contributing to this goal. If you do support the live, supporting the content. Do you think... No, I don't. You can take this first. Go ahead. Are you a Trump supporter?
Sorry.
To accept, press
That's a
1.
kid. Are you a kid?
Yes.
Okay, you're not a kid. What's up, dude? Are you a Trump supporter?
Hey, what's up? Yeah, what's up, Adam? We talked before. How you doing?
What's going on?
Yeah, Adam, wanted to talk to you about,
we already know this conversation's going to be stupid, so.
Adam, come on, give me a chance.
Thank you so much, Taylor. Appreciate you, Taylor.
Thanks,
Taylor, thank you for... Shut up, dude. Taylor, thank you for the $4.99 super chat. Appreciate you, Taylor. Go ahead, dude.
Thanks. Yeah, shout out to Taylor, by the way. Yeah, Adam, what are your thoughts of all that equipment being left behind in Afghanistan?
Oh my God, you guys are.
Oh wait a minute.
Hold on. I'm answering.
I actually remember what you said.
Excuse me.
Let
me respond to the question.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes,
there are a number of. First of all, we've done this in every war ever. Okay, this isn't something new. I don't know if you know this or not, but the United States has done this throughout history. We've always done this. Okay, this isn't something unusual. Something that we do. Okay?
Yeah.
You understand that, right? And the reason we do that is because of time pressure and cost. Trying to retrograde that gear would have cost a tremendous amount of money. You would have to bring in extra troops, right? You would have to do all sorts of things, right? That would cost more than the equipment is worth. Whether you're referring to Afghans that had American equipment and then surrendered that equipment, or you're referring to the equipment that was left behind, are two separate conversations. But the equipment left behind is due to cost effectiveness. Okay? That is the major reason why. And number two, I will say also, the rest requires regular maintenance, of which the Taliban was not mechanically capable. Have you ever seen their parades? Like, they're driving mini bikes and shit. They're not driving all this like crazy. Like, they don't have... A lot of that gear became outdated. They couldn't conduct regular maintenance on it. A lot of it was destroyed too. So that's the reason why.
No. Yeah, you actually brought up the point I wanted to talk about. You say they didn't have, the knowledge on how to operate this equipment. Even though that's false, we've seen them in parades, flying the helicopters. Let me ask you this. When we left
Guy doesn't know what he's
Bagram,
talking about.
who took over Bagram when we left, Adam?
Yeah, dude. The Taliban.
No, the Chinese. The Chinese trained them on our equipment. You realize that?
You think the Chinese have our equipment?
Listen,
you think the Chinese needs
the
our
Chinese
equipment?
took over? Excuse me.
Hold on. You think the Chinese needs our equipment? You
Listen,
think the Chinese needs our equipment? The Taliban currently controls Bagram. I just looked it up. The Taliban controls Bagram Air Force Base.
Right. All right. So, the Chinese took over Bagram Air Force Base, and they started training the Taliban on our equipment. And that's how you see all those parades.
Listen,
you don't believe that?
No, I believe most of the equipment became outdated. I guess he hung up, so. He clearly doesn't want to have a conversation. He's just a fucking troll. Fucking goofy. But just to reiterate what I said before is it would have cost so much money to remove that equipment. Most of that equipment's not even operational. And some of the equipment, what do you think? They're going to fly a helicopter into the United States and bomb us or something? I mean, really. Like, this is just dumb. It's just not that big of a deal. By the way, have they ever used it to conduct an attack on us? That was the conspiracy. That was the conspiracy originally, is that they were going to use it. But most of it has to do with time pressure and cost. It was a pretty quick withdrawal, and trying to pull all of this gear out at the last minute you would need enormous airlift capacity to do this. Like, it's not easy to do. And it would have cost a lot more than the equipment's depreciated value, which is pretty obvious. China's not interested in U.S. fucking equipment. Some of it, yeah. I mean, a lot of it. Like I said, like they're not tremendously mechanically inclined. Go ahead. What's going on?
Hey, it's John.
Christine, you have no idea what you're talking about, and you voted for a pedophile. Shut the fuck up. You can literally Google what I just said, and it's true. Okay. Go ahead. What's up? Are you a Trump supporter?
Yeah, I am.
Why?
Why? Why not?
I don't know. Let's see. He's currently destroying democracy. He doesn't care about the Constitution, right? What grants you your individual...
What Democrat would you like in office?
You asked me a question. Can I finish responding?
What Democrat would you like in office that would do a better job?
Why do you guys do this and not let me finish answering? My answers aren't one-word answers like yours, okay? I have to actually explain. You asked me a question. Would you like to talk about foreign policy or domestic policy? Would you like to talk about the fact that he doesn't care about individual
We can
liberty?
talk about any
Would you like
policy
to talk about the
you
Constitution?
want. Just give me a Democrat candidate that would do a better job than Trump.
Sure, Kamala Harris would have done a better job.
Oh, you're fucking absolutely crazy, bro.
You want me to explain why?
You are absolutely crazy like the rest of you liberals, dude.
I'm not a liberal.
Crazy.
But I can explain
You
why.
must be. You must be if
but
you
I can
think
explain
Kamala
why.
Harris would be a good president.
I'm farther
Please,
left
explain.
than Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris is not far enough left for me. I'm the left that like believes in your right to own firearms. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah. So are you from Minnesota?
No.
Okay. All right. Why? Because I'm from Florida and I live a normal life.
I've been to Minnesota many times.
Right. I'm sorry to hear that.
Why? I loved it. Minnesota is some of the greatest people I've ever met in my life.
I was a soldier for 8 years. Soldier for 8 years, a cop for 25. I drive trucks for a living now. I'm a capitalist like most people are. And I live a good life in Florida. I don't see all this craziness that I see that's going on in Minnesota and California, Arizona, all these blue states.
Really? You don't?
Absolutely.
Do you know 9
nuts.
of the poorest states in the country are Republican? 9 out of the 10 poorest states in the country are Republican?
I'd rather be poor than living in a state where they spit on cops and tell them that they
we didn't spit on cops in Minnesota. What you're confusing is that I was there during the battle for Minneapolis.
I watched the news.
Yeah.
Do you watch the news?
I was there.
Okay.
I was
do you
there.
Watch the news?
I spent weeks there, more than weeks, a month and a half.
So, but you do watch the news, right?
Yeah, I was there though, so I know what happened.
Yeah, you were there. You were there. You were one of the peaceful protesters
there.
that was spitting
Yeah.
on the cops. And
No,
fucking
that's
running
not what
over 'em
happened.
And doing all this.
Would you like to know what happened? I can tell you.
Yeah, I can hear it from a biased liberal.
I'll tell you what happened, and we can just stick to the facts. It's recorded and on my YouTube channel.
It's your facts.
It
and
was.
saw
I
your
live
videos,
streamed
and
almost every aspect of it.
You always explain it what you saw, not what actually happened. I saw a couple of cops arresting a lady and some idiot that should have been at home or at work that quit his job to become an extreme leftist, walking around with a handgun, allegedly peacefully protesting, getting involved with police business, and something happened.
So,
and
first of all,
the actions of the officers were right or wrong, if he had been doing what he was supposed to be doing, which was being a lawful abiding citizen,
You're
he
wrong.
would not be dead today, sir. He would
wrong.
not be dead today.
So
why do people?
Are you going to let me respond? Are you up here to preach, or are you going to let me fucking respond? I've let you yap. Now everything you just said is false. Let me fucking respond. Thank you.
Nothing.
So Alex Preddy was not breaking the law. Alex Preddy was lawfully in possession of a firearm in a holster on his person. He did not brandish the firearm. He did not threaten anyone with the firearm. Both rights he was exercising, both his first and second, he was doing so constitutionally. Federal agents who had no jurisdiction over the American population as they are enforcing civil immigration law threw him to the ground, pulled the firearm off his person, and executed him.
Why did they throw him to the ground? Please explain that.
That's a good question.
Yes, why did they throw him to the ground? Can you explain why they threw him to the ground?
There isn't a logical reason why they threw him to the ground.
Yeah, there is a logical reason, because he got involved in police business.
How?
That's why he got
what
thrown
police
to the ground.
business did he get involved in?
By intervening in an arrest.
That's not what happened. They weren't going
That's
to arrest
happened,
that woman.
Sir.
They weren't trying to arrest
her. You will
her.
not listen to logic, because you're a silly
You have no
liberal.
idea what you just said everything that was wrong. What are you going to do, crash
Yes,
out and cry
yes,
now?
Yes.
I'll explain
I'm
exactly.
not going to crash out and cry.
So let me
because
respond.
I'm a grown adult male, and you are not.
So let me respond.
You're a silly
I know.
liberal
You're a
who is
male.
Continually.
You're a little boy. I would put you in my pocket.
No, I'm not a little boy.
I would
I'm
put
a
you
grown
in
man
my
who served
pocket,
my
you
country
troglodyte.
and served the
I would
people
put you
of
in my
Broward
pocket.
County
Stop talking
for
about your
25
manhood. I
years.
would fucking embarrass you. Shut up.
Son, I would
what
come
did
over
Alex
there
Preddy
and snatch
do?
you bald
What did
like the
Alex
little weak
Preddy
man that
do?
you are.
What did Alex
He
Preddy
walked
do?
into police business, and he paid the price.
Okay, first of all, they're not
And
police.
he paid
They're
the
not
price.
police. Okay,
They are
let's
police.
stop
They
using
are
the.
law
No, they're not.
enforcement officers.
No, they are
They
not.
are law
They are
enforcement
federal.
officers.
They
They
enforce
have
civil
arrest
immigration
powers
law.
anywhere in
Are
the
you just
country,
here to
you
yap,
idiot.
or you want to have a debate, or you want to yap? Are you here to yap, or you
I'll
want to let
debate
me
that
respond?
till the end.
Okay, cool.
Tell me their arrest
You're
powers, sir.
incorrect.
Tell me their arrest powers. If they see a crime in
sure.
progress,
I'll explain.
what do they do,
That's,
sir?
Wait,
what would they do?
An American, any citizen can arrest if they see a crime in progress, dummy. It's called a citizen's arrest. So that doesn't grant them any more authority.
It is
Can
a
I
law
please
enforcement
fucking
officer's
finish,
arrest
please?
Who they would fill out paperwork
No,
for,
that's not how it
paperwork for,
works.
and deliver
No,
to a jail,
you're
you
incorrect.
imbecile.
You're incorrect, dummy. You have no idea
They
what
are
they're
law
doing. So tell me
enforcement
about the warrants in
officers.
Minnesota. Did they have warrants in Minnesota signed
They
by a
don't
judge?
need warrants
Yes,
for
they do.
undocumented individuals,
Yes,
and they do not guarantee
Yes, they do
due
need
process
warrants.
for
Yes, they
undocumented
do.
individuals. And
Yes,
you are
they
so
do.
stupid
So
for
listen,
saying
you are quite literally incompetent, and it's funny that you think you know
You're
what
an
you're talking about.
incompetent individual
You know
when
why
I know
you have no
25
idea.
years
Are you
of
going to
law
shut up?
enforcement
Shut
experience.
the
No, I'm
fuck
not going to shut up
up.
until you
All right, I'm going to
tell
mute
the
you
truth
then, right?
to the people.
I'm going to mute him because he doesn't know what he's talking about. No, ICE agents don't enforce the law. They don't walk around. They're not supposed to be enforcing traffic crimes. For instance, I'll prove this guy wrong. He ran because he wants to steamroll, because if we have a back and forth, he's going to fucking lose. ICE agents, for instance, to prove your point, are not supposed to pull people over for speeding. He said if an ICE agent sees a crime occurring, speeding is a crime, they're allowed to arrest that person absolutely incorrect. And you can all go to Google right now and find out how this expert in law enforcement, who claimed he had 25 years in law enforcement, is 100% wrong. ICE has very limited authority when it comes to the American people because they do not have jurisdiction. They have no jurisdiction, right? So if ICE can arrest American citizens if they're doing very specific things related to their investigation, obstruction, things like that, that's their limited authority. They don't have jurisdiction over the American people, you dummies. So no, they can't. In fact, ICE agents are currently being prosecuted right now in Minnesota for breaking the law. The second one has just been indicted. They are absolutely not allowed to enforce laws. Okay? Any American can arrest someone committing a crime. It's called a citizen's arrest. If you see someone committing a crime, you can arrest someone. But the idea that they have jurisdiction is wrong. They have no jurisdiction. They are there to enforce civil immigration law. You can go to Google and type this in and see for yourself that you are wrong and I am right. Another law enforcement expert that doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. ICE are federal agents designated to enforce civil immigration law. God. It's painful how fucking dumb these people are. They can literally just Google it. So let's look this up. I just Googled it really quick for you guys since you refuse. Is ICE allowed to just arrest Americans for committing crimes? Here's the response. Generally, ICE is not allowed to just arrest U.S. citizens for committing crimes. Crime enforcement arrests are mainly the job of local police, sheriff's deputies, and federal agencies like the FBI, U.S. Marshals, not ICE. ICE's core authority is to arrest and detain non-citizens suspected of being in the U.S. unlawfully or remove people with deportation orders, not to handle routine U.S. citizen crime. If a U.S. citizen commits a crime in the presence of an ICE agent, they contact the agency that handles that crime through regular criminal law by police or other federal agents associated with ICE. You don't know what you're talking about. It's just the same old nonsense from Republicans. And furthermore, they have no jurisdiction. Goofy. God, you guys are fucking dumb. It's like talking to fucking little kids. It's like talking to little kids. In short, ICE does not have the authority to arrest Americans just for committing crimes. The power lies with police and other law enforcement agencies. It also says if ICE does try to arrest a U.S. citizen, it's usually a mistake or an overreach, and that can be challenged in court. And by the way, this is on the Villanova review. Just so you know. This is on the Villanova review. I believe, Melanie says, I believe that guy has 25 years of experience in law enforcement. Our average cop is actually that stupid. Yeah, that's why they kill people, right? That's why they break the law constantly. Listen, here's another thing. In fact, let me just use the bathroom real quick. I'm going to tell you just a little bit about what ICE did while I was there so you understand. ICE was provoking the violence. It's the exact opposite. ICE was deliberately trying to create a hostile environment. Deliberately. They were doing it on purpose. Jesus. Simpletons. Do you guys find it amazing how many bootlickers we have in this country? How many people are willing to defend a fucking ICE? Hey,
Mike?
Hey, ATM painting.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Same dude. Same dude, everybody. Did he take it down? I should make it my banner. ATM painting in Naperville, Illinois. Dude, call Anna. Bro's obsessed with me. He's a failed painter in Naperville. By the way, how many doors did ICE kick in with no warrant? And these guys support it. Chuds.
Call from
Zaire.
Yeah, are you a Trump supporter?
The
failed painter keeps calling from Naperville. Go ahead.
Oh, are you? I thought this was an automated thing after you said the.
No, this is Nancy. So basically, what happens is. Excuse me, sir.
So I want to.
Sir, you have to be transferred over to Adam.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I
Yes,
apologize.
no, it's okay. It's okay. It happens. It happens. So, before you do, we just make sure you're not artificial intelligence. Can I ask you 3 quick questions?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, what's your favorite color?
Blue.
What's your favorite car?
Favorite car is a 2005 BMW M3.
Ooh. And are you single? I'm just kidding. That one I owe it.
I am not single.
I'm
luckily.
just kidding, honey.
I know.
I'm just kidding. Okay, hold on. Yeah. Are you a Trump supporter? 781.
Yeah. Is
What's
this
going on?
Adam?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. So I wanted to talk specifically about ICE. You have a lot of criticisms for them, and I understand some of them, but I think overall, I think they're not doing a great job, but in the sense they're not picking up enough people.
Okay.
You talk about more of the things that they've
Deborah,
done that are
thank you
wrong.
so much, Deborah. Sorry, dude. Deborah, thank you so much for the Sunday. Appreciate you. I don't know what's up with this fucking gifting goal shit today, dude.
That's fine.
But, yeah, guys, I would appreciate contributing to the gifting goal. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with it, if it's lagging or something, or what the fuck is going on. But go ahead, dude. Yeah, so I have a lot of criticisms. I mean, I can explain them to you if you want. I mean, a lot of it stems from when I was there. I witnessed, like, really provocative behavior, like really directly trying to get people to commit crimes. Holding up signs that said Lake and Riley, giving the finger, mocking, talking, just shit talking, pushing, punching, pepper spraying, doing all sorts of things, just totally illegal, man. It wasn't legal look, ICE agents are currently being prosecuted for this. So, like, they would come out at the Whipple building and quite literally start attacking us, physically attack us in the middle of the night for some reason. I mean, this is what they were doing. So, yeah, I have a big problem with what they did. American citizens have been affected, like, in so many ways. I don't even think you fully understand
So are you
fully
talking about, you're
grasp
talking
everything
about
that's
protesters being attacked? Is that what you're talking about?
So it's, first of all, why do we talk about protesters like it's some kind of bad thing? It's a constitutionally protected right.
You're putting thoughts and emotions in my brain. I never even said that.
I'm not putting thoughts in your head. I'm simply saying the way you say, are you talking about protesters? I'm talking about American citizens. And no, I'm not just talking about protesters. In Minnesota, people would get pulled over for the color of their skin, pulled out of a vehicle, illegally searched, seized, arrested, detained, held, and then returned without their property. I saw it countless times. There's videos I could pull up if you don't believe me from my TikTok channel, and I'll show you, like, actual people I interviewed in Minnesota that told me these things.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with those things happening. My point is that if you look at the rates of deaths that have happened under ICE during the Trump presidency and the Obama era presidency, Obama era was far worse. I think the attacking the protesters, you could call them American citizens. I know
Those weren't American citizens executed under Obama. You're talking about people who died in custody. You're not talking about people.
There was American citizens, I believe, that died.
Oh yeah,
too.
what was their name?
I don't know for sure, but there was over 400 people that died, I believe.
Yeah, they're talking about people in custody because of the but there was no American citizens executed in the way that they have.
One of the American citizens was not killed by ICE. One of them was killed by Border Patrol, which was way worse. I agree.
It's totally different scenario. It's not even the same thing.
Of course, yeah, no, I agree. I'm saying that both of them were bad, but again, it comes with the territory. I think a lot of people are fixating on a few deaths when in reality, what's going on is far worse than a few American citizens dying. I mean, yes, those people should be fired and prosecuted. I'm not denying that. But overall, illegal immigration is one of the biggest problems in America. It just objectively is. You know, people talk about the rapes that happen from illegal immigrants and stuff like that, but it's not just that. The reason why our economy is so screwed and why American citizens are getting screwed over is because big businesses think that they can get away, and they do get away, with hiring illegal immigrants for lower wages.
It's not one.
And that's a huge problem. Yes, that's a huge. Yes, it is. That is a huge. Yes, it is.
I can show you right now. It's not about undocumented immigrants. Do you know, like, Walmart underpays their employees, and American citizens, taxpayers, have to subsidize their benefits? So that has nothing to do with undocumented. Hold on, that has nothing to do with American citizens. Walmart's like the richest corporation in the country. So can you let me finish, please?
But they're not a.
How come you get to speak, and when it's my turn to speak,
okay, I'm sorry. I apologize.
Yeah, I don't know why you guys do this. I don't understand. Like, I let you speak, and then you guys start yapping when
Of course, yeah, I apologize. That was disrespectful. I'm trying to be as respectful.
So that has nothing to do with undocumented immigrants. And there's American citizens subsidizing, right, the cost of living for those people, the employees of this corporation. But when it comes to undocumented immigrants specifically, undocumented immigrants typically, and I got to address your other comments first, but I just wanted to state this really quick because it wasn't true. Undocumented immigrants typically occupy positions that American citizens don't want, right? In agriculture, in food service, in construction, low-paying, physically demanding positions that American citizens typically don't want because they're low paying. But I just want to address a couple, and also we're in regards to the crime thing you stated. That's also not true. Undocumented immigrants commit very low portions of crime. I don't know if you know this, but per capita they commit much less crime than American-born citizens. The issue with the category of crime you referenced, rape, right? Sorry, I have to use TikTok language. I'm used to using TikTok language. Is primarily committed by American-born people per capita, right? So I'm recognizing, obviously, the population size of American citizens and undocumented immigrants. Undocumented immigrants aren't contributing to a rising crime rate in any county in this country. Anyway, and the start of the conversation was about people dying under Obama's administration. We're talking about American citizens being executed, right, in the street. We're talking about, American citizens being killed by ICE agents in the street. And it's not just the two in Minnesota. We have several cases of this. We've actually seen ICE agents shoot people that survived. There was a case, this guy just got indicted yesterday or the day before, who shot through a door, an ICE agent, right? And they lied about it, and it came out recently, and this person's now been indicted. Another case, a guy was indicted because they boxed a car in and pulled their firearm. They were pointing guns at people at will in Minnesota. It was terrifying. It was absolutely terrifying. So it's not like these isolated incidents. I can tell you from being there personally that ICE this was an operation, right? This was a very deliberate attempt to destroy this community, to brutalize this community. They were all consistently doing the very same things. Every time they drive by, they'd give us the finger. They were filming us, claiming, you're going to get in trouble. We know who you are. Meanwhile, we're just exercising our constitutional rights. I can pull up videos here really quick just to show people, just to add some substance to what I'm saying really quick for the chat.
Can I respond to your point first? The first point?
Yeah, this is really quick. This just proves the point I made about people being arrested, right? This was a guy who was a documented person who was arrested by ICE. He was pulled over by ICE. They took his property off him and then didn't return it. And he walked up to the federal Whipple building and he was scared to ask for his stuff back. That's how tense the environment was at the time. I was waiting there and I had interviewed him here.
Agent stopped me yesterday.
Yeah.
Way to work.
Yeah.
Two of the guys, and they got me too. So basically,
why the fuck is
they
that
told me
coming
out
up
of the car,
now?
And they were demanding for.
Hold on, let me see if I can pull this up on here. Fucking OBS. Sorry, I just think this is really a good opportunity to show people this instance here. Here we go. I have the shorts version. You can talk, dude, while I'm trying to pull this up.
Oh, okay. So I just wanted to say that you're kind of proving my point when you say that most jobs are unwanted by Americans because they're so low paying, and that's why illegal immigrants are hired for those jobs.
And physically demanding.
And physically demanding. That's the whole point.
Yeah, but
People
that
don't
means
get
they're not
paid
taking
enough.
jobs from American citizens.
You said that you didn't want me to interrupt you.
But you did.
Speak to you. I didn't interrupt you.
You did, but it's okay. Here's the video, guys, real quick, and then I'll let this dude finish. Here's the video, just so people know.
Stopped me yesterday.
Yeah.
Way to work.
Yeah.
Two of the guys, and
Anyway, as I was saying.
Hold on 1 second. The video's playing.
They throw me out of the car.
Okay.
And they were demanding for for my status.
This is important. I want people to see this. This is an opportunity for people to see inside what happened here instead of just talking about it. Please hold on a second.
Agent stopped me yesterday.
Yeah.
Way to work.
Yeah.
Two of the guys, and they got me too. So basically, they throw me out of the car, and they were demanding for for my status. I told them, you know what, my passport is over there.
Yeah.
I'm a citizen, so they went straight to the car, got my passport, and they let me go. But two guys got out. But the thing is, they took everything out of my pocket, put it in the street, and I had a whole bunch of cash in there. They took the cash, and also they took that driver's license, the wallet, the cards, and everything they sold.
So, did they tell you to come get it?
They didn't tell me to come in. I was just trying to see if I could. I'm talking about small money, driver's license.
Oh, your driver's license? Why don't you try Did you try calling? You should get. So that individual, they took his property off him, didn't give it back to him during the traffic stop, and he was so afraid because they were beating the shit out of everybody at that time to walk up to the Whipple building and try and retrieve it. Give me a break. Go ahead, dude.
Okay, so as I was saying, the thing is, right, when it comes to illegal, the whole point is you're talking about how they're very hard-working jobs, right? But they're getting paid very low wages. That's the whole point. The whole point is if people were getting paid higher wages for these jobs that are hardworking and involve a lot of heavy lifting, Americans would do those jobs. We're not getting paid livable wages. There's a lot of people.
You're not seriously saying this as a Republican.
I'm not a Republican.
Bro, you think you're proving your point? You're proving my point. This is what I'm advocating for. Livable wages. That's a Democrat leftist talking point.
Wait. If you're advocating for that, then why are you defending illegal immigrants working in lower paying jobs?
So it's not that we're defending undocumented. Stop calling them illegal. They're undocumented.
They're illegal. They're illegal aliens. That's the official term.
No, that's not the official term. How do you know the official? What's the official term? Can you explain?
Literally in It's literally in the government documents. That's
It
what they call
literally,
them, illegal
it's what
alien.
Republicans call them. They're called
Okay, whatever, man.
undocumented.
There's like the Illegal Alien Act.
So
we can go on and on about all this
yes.
stuff, man.
So I'll explain to you why Republicans use that language specifically, why people use that language specifically. It is to justify the harsh policies used against them. What is the federal minimum wage in this country?
The federal minimum wage, I believe it's $15, right?
No. Try again. Why don't you Google it? I think it will have more of an effect if you Google it.
I don't. Okay, that's literally besides the point.
No,
that's
it's not. Because Republicans advocate against raising the federal minimum wage. It's $7.25 an hour.
I disagree
if
with
you
that.
want to raise wages, everyone gets paid more.
You cannot.
You understand? Not just those jobs. Everyone gets paid.
I agree.
More.
You cannot equate supporting Donald Trump with Republicans when a massive amount of independents voted for Donald Trump this election, and
just say that?
Democrats did. That's just a fact. You can look it up. The statistics prove it. That's how Donald Trump won. Trump won not just because of the hardcore Republican base that he already has. He won because of independents and Democrats, a minor amount admittedly, voting for Donald Trump.
Donald Trump himself is against raising the federal minimum wage.
That's perfectly fine. I don't have to agree
you
with
just
everything Donald Trump says.
So hold on. So again, I don't know if you know this. You said I don't have to associate him with Republicans. What do you mean? Yes, I do.
No, I didn't say
but
that.
Trump
I'm
himself has advocated against it.
I'm not saying that.
So
I'm saying
do you know that Donald Trump has reversed Biden-era rules that raised the minimum wage for workers on federal contracts from about $15 to what, $13, $12 per hour? So he blocked a higher wage floor for hundreds of thousands of contract workers, but yet you're telling me we should punish undocumented immigrants because Republicans refuse to raise the minimum wage.
That's not my point. You're not listening to me. I don't understand why.
Sense.
It's like you're circling around. You're not listening to me.
Your point makes no sense.
No,
because
you're not listening.
I'm proving you're contradicting yourself.
You said, let me respond to that one point you said, where you said, talking about Trump and Republicans. I'm not saying that Trump isn't a Republican. I'm saying that not everyone that voted for Donald Trump is a Republican. Independents and Democrats voted for Donald Trump. The majority of independents voted for Donald Trump. That's how he won the election. And then a percentage of Democrats did. I'm not saying that Donald Trump isn't a Republican and I'm trying to cut them apart.
Kathy, thank you so much, Kathy. Appreciate you, Kathy. This guy is absurd. This guy's now trying to tell me, guy, he is a Republican, okay? Fine and dandy. Fine and dandy cotton candy. Thank you so much.
Who's a Republican? Who's a Republican? Trump? Yeah, he's a Republican. I never said that he wasn't a Republican.
But I'm giving you specific policies, right, that literally lowered the wage for hundreds of thousands of contract workers. His administration also rolled back federal minimum wage protections for certain groups.
Hey, I disagree with those things.
Okay, but you can disagree with them personally, but you supported Trump. So I'm pointing out the fact that you're contradicting yourself. You're voting for something you're advocating against.
This is the thing I'm talking about. You think that because I support Donald Trump, that immediately means that I support everything that he's done. I don't support the Iran war. I don't support him supporting Israel because, Israel's committing a genocide. But
that's good.
That doesn't mean that I don't support certain policies and I don't prefer Donald Trump over what we would have gotten with Kamala Harris. You are equating me thinking that I am some Trump cultist that supports everything that he does, and that's not the majority of Americans and the majority of Trump supporters even. That's just a fact.
Okay.
I don't understand why you're trying to put me in a bubble.
Because you're advocating for a person that wants to hold the federal minimum wage low, while simultaneously advocating for his deportation policies that would only punish undocumented immigrants, right, who are hard workers trying to seek a better life. And you're saying it's because they're receiving low wages, and they're receiving low wages because of the policies you support. If you raise the federal minimum wage, everyone makes more. Guy, if you raise the federal minimum wage, everyone makes more.
That's objectively not true, because I said that I disagree with those specific policies that he's done.
But you can't advocate for one and then support the other, because they're in contradiction to one another.
That's so stupid. It's not an all or nothing thing. That's not how this works. No, it's not. No, it's not. Now you're trying to put me in a bubble. Okay. That's not an all or nothing thing. You cannot say that just because I support certain things of Donald Trump and overall I prefer him over Kamala Harris, that immediately means that I support every single thing he does and every single policy he enacts.
Can I explain, why when it comes to Republicans specifically? No, in this case, I was just simply pointing out the fact that his policies do the exact opposite of what you're claiming, and those policies are the reason people make low wages, not just undocumented immigrants, but American-born workers. If you raised the wages, right, then what? Maybe Americans would be more likely to want to do those jobs. But what we found through a number of studies is that American citizens wouldn't even be interested in those jobs had you raised the minimum wage because of how physically demanding they are. But regardless, if you raise the federal minimum wage, everyone makes more. Everyone makes more. You can't advocate for one and then advocate for the other, right?
That's just not true. That's not.
But I want to point out something you said about not supporting everything Trump does. This is a super problematic position Republicans hold, because Donald Trump's policies are like, we have line in the sand issues when it comes to Donald Trump. Like the war in Iran, for instance. You can't not support that war and still support Trump, because it's actively destroying our economy, right? Like it's active. Like this is a major, like he's lying. He's breaking the law to invade another country, infringe on another country's sovereignty. That's a line in the sand issue. The Epstein files, for instance, that's a line in the sand issue. You guys want to remove all these horribly negative things about him, and then like pick and choose little things you support here and there. I just find it absolutely ridiculous.
My question is, okay, did you vote for Obama in 2008 or 2012?
Yes.
So you support the 6 wars he started in Yemen. You support him pushing for NAFTA. You support him getting rid of over, I think, 5 million illegal immigrants. You support him arresting whistleblowers that were whistleblowing war crimes. Do you support all of these things about Obama? All of them? Or did you not know any of these things? You know,
watch how easy I can
Lebanon,
solve this.
Libya, Somalia, Syria, Sudan, and I forget the 6th country. But
so what's the definition of a war now? Are we changing the definition of a war?
War is him attacking another country illegally.
So it is a war. Okay. I'm just wondering, because official wars is crazy. I mean, you're talking about authorized use of force and wars. Those are very different, right? When we're talking about what's happening in Iran, these are very different.
Attacking a country illegally is what Obama did, and he committed multiple war crimes. There's videos of the war crimes.
But here's the difference, right, between me and you, right, is that I'm willing to be critical. You're simply pointing these out because you've been, but you're not, though. You were only critical because I pointed out the fact.
I don't agree with those policies.
Okay, so what do you agree with during this term?
I think overall he's done a good job.
Remember, guys, the first question I asked this guy was that he supports Donald Trump's deportation policy.
Yes, I support his deportation policy. That's one of the things I agree with him with.
Okay, so let's talk about it then. Let's talk about it more broadly. Do you think that it's had a negative effect on American citizens?
No.
So those American citizens who were executed and had their rights violated.
You're talking about? Okay, yeah. Of course, on a minor scale, yes.
Minor scale? What's a minor scale?
Yes, minor scale. Only a few American citizens have died because.
So what you're saying is you're willing to sacrifice a certain percentage of American citizens to execute this deportation operation?
Yes.
Wow.
It comes with the territory, yeah.
Wow, folks. That is crazy.
But at the same time, you have to realize.
Oh, my God.
That's
Did you hear this, guys? This is a Trump supporter. He's willing to sacrifice a few of you to execute this deportation operation. Can I just, I want to bring something up really quick. Hold on.
The same thing
I want to bring something up really quick. You brought up crime.
Real quick.
You brought up crime.
Hold on. The Second Amendment. If you
I want to
support
address
the Second
this,
Amendment, it's the same thing with the Second Amendment. We have school shootings. There's killings all the time in black neighborhoods because the crime rate and the crime rate is the worst in black neighborhoods. The thing is, though, right, is that it comes with the territory.
Are you going to say what Charlie Kirk said before he got clapped when he said that it's necessary to have some children die to maintain our Second Amendment right?
I don't think it shouldn't be necessary, but it comes with the territory.
So
if we're going to have firearms...
Watch, guys, here's another contradiction we're going to point out with this guy. So this guy is saying that, unfortunately, people are going to use firearms inappropriately, and it's important that that happens to maintain our Second Amendment right. And you're simultaneously saying you support federal agents, big government, infringing on the Second Amendment right of American citizens as a necessary sacrifice in order to conduct a deportation operation.
Can you let me
contradicting yourself, and it's so easy to point out. Was Alex Preddy's Second Amendment right violated?
Those people...
Was Alex Preddy's Second Amendment right violated by the federal government because of your... Hold on. Stop talking. Was Alex Preddy's Second Amendment right violated because of the deportation policies you support?
Yeah, I guess.
There you go. So you're saying two different things. Now you're saying it's necessary to maintain our Second Amendment right while simultaneously supporting the government infringing on that same right?
This is the thing that you don't understand, right? And I'm so perplexed,
I don't understand.
Right? The amount of
who's not understanding.
The majority of those people have been either prosecuted or arrested, right? And again,
who?
I'm not saying
no, they haven't.
Okay, if they haven't, that's wrong.
Wow,
but
hold on, guys. More misinformation. This guy just said majority of those people.
I don't give a shit, dude.
No.
I don't give a shit. All right,
calm down.
Whatever.
Stop crashing out. Calm
whatever
down.
happened. No,
calm
no.
down.
Whatever happened.
Take
okay,
a deep
I'm
breath.
calming down.
Okay,
I'm calming
stop
down.
talking
okay, buddy.
for a second.
Okay, buddy.
Stop talking for a second.
Let me talk.
No, we need to clarify. You just said something that's not true. So now this guy just said that most of the ICE agents who did this have been prosecuted. Let me be clear when I say this. None.
I assume something.
Let me be clear when I say this. He's crashing out because he knows he's getting proven wrong. Another contradiction in this guy's ideology. It's weird.
Okay,
you have the weirdest ideology. Anyway, this guy's belief system is incredibly flawed, and it's easy to point out, right? Guy, none. Let me say that again. None of the people involved in his death have been prosecuted. 2 agents have been indicted. I don't think either have been arrested yet. 2 have been indicted for unrelated incidents. None. And by the way, there was thousands of federal agents in Minnesota during this operation. Metro, whatever it was called. Thousands. Okay? None of those involved in his death have been prosecuted.
Okay, are you done saying it over and over again? Okay.
Okay, I support the federal government infringing on the constitutional rights of American citizens, but simultaneously, I'm going to say American citizens might die at the hand of gun violence. So we don't have, the government infringing on those rights. It's necessary that certain people, are victims of violence
You're
by
not
gun.
listening to what I'm saying. I haven't even finished what I was saying to explain it in the first place.
Well, you don't let anyone finish in your personal life, so I don't let you finish now.
Look, bro. Listen, I think that those people should be prosecuted. I'm saying that things like that are going to happen when you do a mass-scale immigration policy. I'm not saying that it's right. This is the thing that you keep on putting beliefs in my brain, right? I'm not saying that those things were right. I'm saying that comes with the territory, just like mass shootings come with the territory of the Second Amendment. You keep on saying over and over and over again that I'm contradicting myself, but I'm not. I'm specifically stating that those people should be arrested and charged for the illegal acts that they did. But that doesn't mean that that's not going to happen again with such a massive scale immigration policy that Donald Trump is doing, right? I don't think it's right.
You've already said it's a necessary. Listen, I don't know how much I have to point this out. It's so funny. This guy's saying for this policy he supports, it's a necessary sacrifice that American citizens have their constitutional rights infringed upon and are executed to support this policy, and simultaneously saying that Children need to be the victim of gun violence to maintain
Oh
that
my
same
God, bro.
Second
Stop
Amendment
fucking-
right.
Stop
That
fucking
same
standing
Second
on the
Amendment
pile
right.
of dead children, bro. That is the
You are
dumbest shit
such a
imaginable.
disingenuous. I'm standing on their graves, you fucking
Yeah, you
asshole.
are.
You're
You're
literally
standing on their
saying you
graves.
support them. You literally said
I don't support
yes,
them
you
dying.
do. By
Do you
saying it's a
understand
necessary
how
sacrifice, that's
insane you
exactly what you're
sound?
doing.
You're
By saying
trying to
it's a
morally
necessary
high ground.
sacrifice, that's exactly what
It
you're
isn't
doing.
necessary. It sucks. It's terrible.
That's a Charlie
but it's
Kirk
gonna happen.
shit fucking
That's
opinion.
my point. So do you think the Second Amendment shouldn't be a thing then?
No. Where'd you get that from?
Because you're saying it's obviously going to be a necessary sacrifice.
Guy,
that's
I'm
the
pointing
thing.
out the
Do you
flaw
really think
in
that
your
gun laws are
argument.
going to stop mass shootings?
I'm pointing out the flaw in your argument. You're just too simple to understand it.
No.
You
Do
can't
you
say
think
that while simultaneously advocating for federal agents to execute American citizens and say it's a
I'm not
necessary consequence to a
advocating for that.
deportation
I'm not
operation.
advocating for
Guy, you can't say it's a
This is
necessary. Shut
insane.
up.
This guy
Let me
is
finish.
insane.
You're saying
He's
it's a
mentally ill.
necessary consequence. That's not how the Second Amendment would work. What you're saying you
It's
want to
a
protect
necessary-
against, you're advocating for. What you're saying you want to protect against.
And shootings and gang shootings in black neighborhoods or poor neighborhoods.
All right, let me
right,
move off this.
LBGT.
He's just not getting
No.
the obvious
I'm
fucking
asking a
gotcha
question.
here. But
Are they
listen, he's not
necessary?
getting the
Are
obvious
they
gotcha. Let me
necessary
point
to
this
the
out
Second
really
Amendment?
quick. No, let me point this out really quick, right? You can maintain your Second Amendment with common sense gun control policies. It's not difficult to do.
Bro, and that's gonna actually stop mass shootings?
Oh, wait.
Come on, bro.
Wait.
You have a la land
Excuse me.
fucking belief like
They have stopped mass
utopia.
shootings. There's
Oh, yeah.
multiple studies that
Yes,
point to a
they're
reduction
still
in
going
mass
to happen
shootings.
until any
There's
done.
multiple
That's just how it
studies
is.
that point to a reduction in mass shootings for a multitude of reasons.
That's
but
great, and there's still going to be mass
Well, it's
shootings.
funny. The candidate I voted for actually advocated for solutions to this problem rather than saying that
I don't-
dead
first
children.
of all, I
Shut
do
up!
not
I'm
believe
talking.
in gun
I'm
control at all.
talking.
No,
I'm
I don't
talking.
really care because you talked over
I'll
me
mute
this
you then.
entire
I'll
time.
mute you then. You want to
Go
let me
ahead,
finish, or
you-
I'll mute you?
you-
Okay? The person I
It's
voted for
cowardly.
actually had solutions, right? Or at least attempted to solve the problem of children dying in school instead of saying, oh, it's a necessary sacrifice to maintain our Second Amendment, while this chud is simultaneously advocating for a policy that results in American citizens' death for exercising that same constitutional right. But I'm not supposed to believe that these people are disingenuous as fuck? I mean, give me a fucking break. Let me point to this very important argument that you made earlier. That is, some people say it's about rape and this and that. Are you under the impression undocumented immigrants are committing large portions of crime?
No, I never said that.
You
You're
did.
putting words in my mouth.
You
no,
did.
I didn't.
You
No, I
literally
didn't.
said rape.
No, I said that they are committing crimes.
Really?
First of all, yes,
Inconsequential.
every single illegal alien that comes in this country is a federal criminal. Like they're committing a federal crime. That's just a fact.
It's a civil penalty. What are you talking about?
No, it's
Did
not.
you
It's
just
a
say
federal
they're
crime.
federal?
They're forging Social
Oh
Security
my God.
documents. They're forging
they're-
birth certificates.
That's
illegal.
that's a
You
different
can't do
issue.
that.
Not
That's
coming
a federal
into the
crime.
coming into the country is
They're
not.
they're taking Social Security. That's a federal crime. All of these things
You're
are
citing a
federal
different
crimes.
crime. American citizens commit that same category of crime.
Of course, yeah. I'm not saying that, but they're illegal. They're not supposed to be here in the first place.
This is funny. But anyways,
okay, what's
do you
so
think?
funny about
do
it?
you
I
think
don't really understand.
Do you think
You're wrong? You're objectively
No,
wrong.
I'm
and
actually
you got
not.
fried
You're
on that argument.
Okay, listen.
You did. You got fried.
It's a
They're
civil
not supposed to be
immigration
here, so if they
violation.
weren't
It's a
here,
civil
They wouldn't
immigration.
be adding on to the crime that's already
All right,
happening.
Sure. It's okay. It's a misdemeanor.
Yeah,
it's a
okay,
misdemeanor.
sure.
It's a misdemeanor. You know that, right?
Forging federal documents is a misdemeanor?
No. Coming into the country.
Okay, and then what about forging Social
But that's
Security?
a separate crime. That's a separate crime.
Those are federal crimes that they have to do.
Do American citizens commit that same category of crime? It's not particular to undocumented immigrants. is
It
what I'm
doesn't
pointing
matter. If they weren't here in the first place, they wouldn't be able to do those crimes.
What?
What do you
American
mean,
citizens
what?
commit the same category of
What?
crime. It is not particular. You made a claim, right, that it's a felony. It's not. It's a misdemeanor.
Yes, it is. It's a felony.
It is
to do
not
all those
a
illegal
felony.
acts.
We're talking about those who enter the country, right? Unauthorized. That is a misdemeanor. 8 U.S.C.
That's a misdemeanor,
1325.
but all the things they have to do to even live in America illegally is a federal crime. They're all federal crimes.
Okay, so are undocumented immigrants, would you consider undocumented immigrants a net positive or a net negative on our country?
A net negative.
Okay,
Net
economically?
negative. Yes, a net negative.
Okay, what are their contributions, their tax contributions?
I have no fucking idea. I
Then
don't
how
really
do you
care
know they're
about
net
taxes.
negative?
Because they're taking away jobs from Americans that
Not
would do
true.
those jobs if they were paid well.
Not
yes,
true.
That's just a fact. That's just a fact. You can use all your statistics all you want. I've talked to people, and this is I know this is anecdotal evidence. This is anecdotal evidence, but I have talked to people who would do these jobs if they were paid well. I would pick oranges
So
for
then
10
why
hours
would you
a day.
So why would
for
you be
$50
advocating
an hour.
against raising the federal minimum wage?
I never said I was against raising the
But your
federal
president
minimum wage.
who's conducting the operation is.
And again,
so
you're
we shouldn't
trying
take
to
out
put
the
me
fact
in
a
box,
consequence
and
of
this
it.
is why this is like the mentally ill, like
I'm gonna
liberal.
start speaking now because you just keep yapping
No,
and
because
everything
you
you're
won't,
saying
you won't
is
stop.
false.
You're accusing me of things that are not true.
No, I'm accusing the
No,
president you
because
support.
I specifically stated that I don't support
You
everything
don't get
Donald
to do
Trump
that.
does.
You don't get to support.
I do, nigga.
No, you
What
don't.
The fuck?
No, you don't.
What are you talking about?
Hey, by the way,
I'm
don't
not
use.
to do that.
Listen, I don't know. Are you? You're not a white dude, are you?
No, I'm mixed.
Okay. I'm just making sure because I don't want. I mean, unfortunately.
No, don't worry.
But the point is that don't say that word anyway, okay? Because I can't, don't say that word.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I know YouTube's very sensitive with that. I apologize.
So the point is right is that that if you don't know how much they contribute in tax revenue, you're not going to be able to determine whether or not they're a net positive or a net negative. Now, there's a number of studies that try and indicate they're a net negative, but I can tell you they're not. They're absolutely a net positive, undeniably a net positive. Would you be surprised if I told you that they have contributed $100 billion at a federal, state, and local level annually?
Well, the problem is with that is that it doesn't really matter. Taxes don't really matter because it's never used for the American people.
Yes, it is. You're wrong again.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
I'll prove it. You ready?
The majority of taxes are used for the military budget.
You're wrong. Let me finish. You're wrong.
Okay,
so we pay into
all right.
Social Security, dude, Medicare, Medicaid. You pay into the systems that directly benefit the American people. What are you talking about? This is insane. Of course.
Yeah, but I'm saying that the majority of the time taxes go to...
What are you talking about? Oh, my God. Please stop.
Can you
stop.
please
I'm
stop fucking interrupting me?
I'm going to try and educate you the best that I can.
Don't fucking try to educate me. Don't interrupt me. Let me talk.
Educated. You need to be educated.
No, I don't. You need to be you need to be quiet real quick so I can talk.
Okay? Undocumented immigrants, by federal law, are explicit. I'm going to explain to you why they're paying into those systems and how it benefits the American people. Because they're paying into systems that that undocumented immigrants are explicitly prohibited by federal law from benefiting from.
But they still get benefited by it.
They don't at a federal level.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
They do.
All right, what federal
at a state level they do. I'm sorry.
We're not talking about state benefits, and those benefits largely go to those seeking asylum, which wouldn't classify or fall under the category of undocumented.
Seeking asylum is a broad term that is overused.
It's not.
No, because you've interrupted me over and over again.
I'm trying to explain this to you so you cannot seem stupid to the next person you call into.
I'm not seeming stupid. I'm saying
you are.
Specifically.
You just said
no,
taxes
I'm not.
don't go to the
You're
American
constantly
people,
putting me in a bubble and saying that I support everything that Donald Trump says.
So paying into Social Security doesn't. So paying into Social Security, you're not subsidizing Social Security when you pay into a system you don't benefit from. Undocumented immigrants don't receive Social Security, so are they subsidizing?
Okay, Social Security. That's one thing.
Are undocumented immigrants subsidizing Social Security if they're paying into a system?
What's the percentage they're subsidizing? What's the percentage? What's the percentage?
They're contributing $100
answer the question.
Can you stop? $100 billion.
What is the percentage?
Me?
No. What is the percentage?
No.
What is the fucking percentage? Just because it's $100 billion, that's nothing to the federal government. What is the percentage?
That's nothing.
That's nothing. That's nothing. That is nothing. Compared to what they get, that is nothing. What is the percentage?
This
No.
is
What
an
is the
irrelevant,
percentage of what they are
nonsensical-
paying for Medicaid?
I'm going to
or
finish.
for Social Security?
I'm going to finish explaining before you like crash out. You think you have some
Bro,
kind of like
listen
you're
to me.
embarrassing yourself.
What is the percentage?
Do I have
No.
to put you
What
on
is
mute?
the percentage?
Are you going to let me finish or not?
You keep
What is
on
the
saying the
percentage?
money
Percentage
count.
of what?
The percentage amount of what they are subsidizing. What is the percentage?
What percentage is subsidized by undocumented immigrants? Let's look it
Yes.
up. What does this
It's that
matter?
simple.
If they subsidize
It does
any-
matter. It's a huge. Yes, it does.
There's no official percentage. You can't even find
Okay,
one.
exactly.
But I can tell you they
You
contribute.
can just say $100 billion. That's fucking nothing. That's worthless to the United States government.
Guy, you're so stupid. You're so dumb. It's insane.
I'm dumb
you
because
are.
I'm calling
Stop
you out on
talking.
being stupid, and you don't even have the percentage amount
There
of
is
how
no
much illegal
there is no
aliens
stable
are subsidizing
percentage.
Social Security.
There is no stable.
You're smug,
Guy, you're
egotistical,
dumb.
fucking.
You're dumb. I hate
like,
to tell you
aloof
this. You're
fucking,
incredibly
mindset that
dumb.
you have isn't working.
You know
You sound like a
nothing.
moron.
You know nothing. You didn't.
No,
even,
you know nothing. You don't even know the percentage.
I mean, there
You
is
don't even know
no
the percentage.
percentage, dude.
There
You
is no percentage. There's no percentage that shows the percentage amount of how much illegal aliens
So I
are
can tell you
contributing
that
and
in 20, I
subsidizing
can
Social
give you
Security.
the number that they paid into, but not
Yeah,
a
only
particular
$100
percent.
billion.
No,
really?
that's their total tax. If you'll shut up, I'll explain. But
That's
you're
that's their total and how in all
you're
the years
crashing
that's
out
been going
because
on.
you're getting embarrassed, dude.
Wait, no,
And
that's
you
their
know.
total in all the years they've been here.
No, dumbass. It is their,
Okay, then
it was
what
their
is it?
total tax contributions annually is $100 billion.
$100 billion.
Yes, and about a quarter of that is Social Security taxes combined worker plus employer share. So they're
And how many
contributing.
illegal aliens are
Can
there?
I finish speaking?
No, I
please?
just want to know. I just make sure.
Can I
I just want to
finish
get it right. There's
speaking,
like
please?
10
You
or
don't know
11
how
million
many
illegal aliens, right?
He's crying, guys, because he's getting
I'm
embarrassed.
crying?
Everyone
How am
in
I
the chat
crying?
knows that you're scared to let me finish.
Okay, cool, bro. I'm scared. Yeah.
Everyone
I'm
knows
asking a
you're
simple
scared.
question.
That's why
I'm
you won't
asking
shut
a simple
up.
question.
You won't
no,
stop
I'm asking
talking.
a simple question.
You won't
How
let
many
me
illegal
speak.
aliens are in
You
this
won't
country?
let me speak. You're trying to scream and ask questions because you don't want me to have the floor because I'm embarrassing you. So again,
You're
as
not
I
embarrassing me at
stop
all. I'll let you
talking.
speak, but
Let
I'm just
me
asking a
speak.
simple
Just
question.
just keep your mouth shut. You
I
didn't
just
know
said
any
that
of
I
this
would, but
information.
don't disrespect me like that.
Guy,
don't disrespect
listen,
me like that.
Just I am disrespecting you because you're stupid. Now let me finish.
Okay,
okay. You were
No, I'm not
unaware-
going to let you finish then because you're constantly being
All right,
disrespectful.
Listen, I have to go then because you're dumb, okay? Have a good one. I hate to say it. You're dumb, dude. What I'm trying to explain to you is what you don't understand is they're paying into a system they don't benefit from. So regardless of what you're saying, they don't take out of this same system. And by the way, we're talking about $25 billion in Social Security taxes plus several billion dollars more in Medicare taxes. When they're ineligible for those benefits and you're going to argue they're not subsidizing those programs, he wants an exact percentage. You can't give an exact percentage. It would obviously fluctuate. There is no exact percentage. It's an absurd question to ask. He's just trying to deflect. But the point is, right, very clearly, is that they're paying into a system that they do not take out of. So you're $25 billion in Social Security taxes that they're ineligible from benefiting from. Altogether, undocumented workers contributed roughly a third of their total tax payments to social insurance programs. Are you a Trump supporter?
Yep.
Is this the same guy?
Does it fucking sound like the same guy?
Who the fuck do you think you're talking to, you fucking creep?
You're
fucking talk to me like that, you fucking troglodyte. Who the fuck do you think you're talking to? Because I let that dude talk to me disrespectfully, you think you're gonna fucking come up here and talk to me disrespectfully? Fuck out of here. It's not going to be a clean percentage, but obviously I'm providing the evidence that undocumented workers pay billions into these programs.
Call from.
Did I say shut your ass up?
Call
Yes,
from.
are you a Trump?
Not going to be.
Are you a Trump supporter?
But Obviously,
Hello?
I'm providing the evidence with undocumented.
Hello.
No, you're not calling. You have too much of an echo. It's too late at night to be trying to tell you to turn your background off there. No, he's just incompetent, right? This isn't difficult to understand, right? This isn't difficult to understand. Okay, it's pretty easy to understand if you're willing to understand it.
Hello?
Yes, are you a Trump supporter?
I'm kind of in the middle. No,
How
I'm
old
not,
are
like,
you?
Kamala?
Bro, guys, you got to be 18 to call. It says right above me. Jesus. You think listen, Ricky, how do you think it feels for me? I'm literally arguing something that's so obviously true. I've never seen anyone dispute this fact. I'm trying to explain to the guy that it's a meaningful subsidy to the program's solvency. They do not receive any benefits from the program they're paying into.
Call from.
What did I tell you? What did I say to you? 770, go ahead.
Hello?
How old are you?
Your mom.
Oh, God. Who lets these little kids have cell phones? I'm going to call your mom. All right? I'm going to call your mom. I'm saving this number to... By the way, if you were in the live earlier, I called a mom earlier. And the mom was like, yeah, my 9-year-old has a cell phone. Russell, you're not calling either. Dude, these little kids. God, why are I'm getting flooded by little kids. Like, it's insane. They must be like on Fortnite together right now or something. I can't imagine parents giving their little kids cell phone. It's insane. Guys, Miguel is, I guess, upset that there's 238 likes on the live and not moving, I guess. Miguel is mad about that or something. So make sure you hit the like button on behalf of Miguel, who wants there to be more likes. Miguel is a fucking idiot, obviously. Guys, Adam only has 200 likes. Goofy. All right, let's look up this person here. We got to pull up biggest hater of the night first. Hold on. All right, let's bring this guy up. This guy's been a big hater tonight, so we're going to make him the hater of the night here, guys. We're going to make him the hater of the night. He's been talking mad shit in the chat tonight. So we're going to bring up hater of the night, folks. This is the hater of the night so far. He's been crying a lot. I'd bring up Miguel, but he's too scared to put a profile picture. So let's bring up really quick the biggest chud of the evening. I put this chud. Chud, you're going out. You're going up, Chud. Man, I got so many of these guys saved on here, too. Where is this dude? I put this dude. Go to his profile here. You're definitely winning, bro. Tim, you're definitely winning, bro. I clicked your profile and you are the winner, bro. Big time. You are the winner, my guy. Like, to a T, Tim. Chelsea, thank you so much for the $5 on Venmo. Says in dishonor of this evening's chud. Yeah, I don't think we made it to the algorithm today. There wasn't enough super chats and likes and shit. And they're also angry today. It's like you can't even have a conversation. They just start. All right, guys. Hater of the evening. Hater of the evening, folks. Right here. This has been the number one. Congratulations to this gentleman here. He's been a major hater of mine tonight. Congratulations to this guy. I see all things. It was the mustache that put you over, dude. It was the mustache that put you over. The mustache in combination with the support of Epstein is a vile combination, by the way. It's an insane combination. I just want to congratulate here. I see all things. Come on down. I see all things. Who is an excellent chatter, big shit talker, Trump supporter, and Epstein files supporter. Congratulations, bro. Congratulations. It was the mustache that did it. It was the mustache that did it, bro. It's unreal. MC said that, bro, that's fucked up. Dude, I didn't do it. He's got to take that up with God. I didn't have anything to do with it. I just simply put it up there, you know? I didn't do jack shit. Trump supporters are so vile, and then they hate to be met with, like, the same energy. They start crying immediately. I love how MAGA cries immediately when they're met with the same energy. They say the most vile shit. As soon as they get met with the same energy, they start crying. Oh, my God. It's just too fucking funny. It really is. Oh, my God. I find that so funny. I thought for sure you'd pick Anthony the ex-painter. No, but he's been trying to call all night, dude. Anthony the ex-painter in Naperville. And ATM painting. Bringing color and quality to your home or business. Anthony and Mike. Anthony and Mike. I wouldn't even call it like a legitimate business because its email is like atmpainting225@hotmail or gmail.com. He listened to the entire fucking live too, which is crazy. I think he just recently gave up. He realized I was done giving him attention. This guy's really mad, so hold on.
Hello?
Hi, would you like to talk to Adam?
Oh, come on, dude. Don't play stupid.
No, I'm being honest. Would you or not?
Yeah, Big Bird. You can fucking transfer me to Adam, Big Bird.
All right, are you debating?
That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
Are you debating, Chud?
Why do you call people chuds, honestly? That's ad hominem weird shit, dude.
Dude, Trump supporters are full of ad hominems. What are you talking about?
So hit fire with fire, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. I have zero respect for these fucking chuds. I usually call them troglodytes, though. I moved away from chud a little bit more. But when you say chud, you have to say chud. Like, you have to put a little bit of emphasis on the word chud. So say it with me. Say chud. Chud.
That encourages the cult in the chat to repeat the same shit that they hate Trump supporters for repeating what he says. It's the same thing.
I think the chat is fed up. I think they're fed up with the Epstein files in particular. Do you support the Epstein files?
Do I support the Epstein files?
Yeah, do you support the Department of Justice obstructing justice and not releasing them? I think the chat's fed up with things like that, you know what I'm saying?
Sure, the chat can be fed up with whatever they want. It doesn't really matter.
But are you?
No, I think that we're doing pretty good on the Epstein files.
Okay, what do you mean by that? Doing pretty good.
I'd rather talk about other stuff. I don't care about the Epstein files anymore.
Of course you would, but that's why I bring it up, because I know you guys don't want to talk about it, because you can't.
Well, that's an easy pickings when it comes to a Trump supporter. It's easy to pick on him when it comes to the Epstein files.
It shouldn't.
I can disagree. I can disagree with what's going on with that either way. So
really, what do you support about what Trump's doing right now?
I think the conversation that you were having with one of the last callers about the illegal the work and illegal workers in this country was actually a pretty good conversation, but you guys kept talking over each other, which was kind of sad.
We weren't talking over each other. He was talking over me when he got in a corner because he was unwilling to admit that undocumented immigrants are subsidizing Social Security, and so he started screaming about, well, he wanted to give me some kind of clean percentage on Social Security funded by undocumented immigrants. But I was simply proving the evidence that undocumented immigrants pay billions into Social Security each year and receive very little back. So that's effectively subsidizing the program in aggregate. And you know that, right? So he didn't want to answer that question. He didn't want me to make that statement because he knows it proves him wrong. He didn't even know the fucking number. He claimed they were net negative and can't supply the tax revenue contribution. How can you tell me they're a net negative and you don't know the tax contributions?
I personally think that they're a net negative mainly because they depress wages in the United States. That's my opinion.
But they don't.
And I deal with that personally every day.
Yeah,
they absolutely do.
They don't.
No, they do.
Okay,
trust me.
Let's talk about it. So, first of all,
sure.
The person you support actually depresses wages. You know that, right? And that's the clear.
Federal and state wages are two different things. States can pass federal minimum wage laws.
I'm aware of that, but not every state does. For instance, Pennsylvania still has a minimum wage of $7.25. Increasing the federal minimum wage forces states to increase the state minimum wage. So you don't make statements that are not true.
No, in that pushing. Hold on. Pushing your politicians
interrupting
to do that is one thing.
Doing that.
Okay, sure. Go ahead.
Say what you were going to say. It's important.
I'm saying that we talk about the federal government. If you want to complain about minimum wage in a state, you push your representatives to pass laws that help benefit and bring the minimum wage up in the state. Okay. You can't base everything off of the federal government.
Yeah, but when you vote for Trump, right, and you're supporting policies that it's his policy to remove them. Okay, that's Donald Trump's policy to remove them. So when you're supporting his deportation policy, which is what that guy was arguing, I'm going to point out the fact that Donald Trump is against raising the minimum wage. And he's done things like reversed Biden-era rules that raise the minimum wage for workers on federal contracts from about $15 to like $12, right? That effectively blocked a higher wage floor. You can't argue for Trump and deportation and then say, oh, I think undocumented immigrants are depressing wages. Obviously, the person you support doesn't want to raise the federal minimum wage, which would effectively solve that problem.
Because he wants to leave it up to the states. There you go.
No, I just
What's
gave
the problem
you
with that?
So, again, why would he weaken federal minimum wage protections for certain groups then?
Minimum wage protection is for the entire country, not just one group.
He's just siding with businesses.
No.
Naive.
It has nothing to do with business.
Yes, it does. He literally stated it's in the interest of business. What are you talking about?
You're saying specific groups, like you're talking about generalized. Can you provide
me a study? Because I can give you a number. Like there's a number of studies that conclude that the long-term impact of immigration, including undocumented workers, on the wages of U.S.-born workers is very, very small, if there's any harm at all. I don't know if you can actually cite studies or not, but we need to go through them because there's a lot of economists that disagree with you. Because undocumented immigrants mostly fill jobs that many U.S.-born workers do not want or cannot fill. In agriculture, in construction, in food service, in late-night retail. There's also an abundance of these positions available. It's not like there's any shortage of them. So they compete less directly with the average American worker that you're referring to, right? And they keep those sectors... Hold on. They keep those sectors running. American citizens would not work those jobs, and we know that, right? Because we've seen mass deportation results in labor shortage in these sectors specifically.
Those sectors, farming, agriculture, those sectors purposely have to pay low wages because they cannot survive if they were to pay higher wages. That is how that works.
Okay, so first of all, that's not true in every single sector that we talked about.
Agriculture is
one sector, but you're proving my point without realizing it. If that's the case, then American citizens will not fill those positions. Do you understand?
They cannot hire them for those positions for that very reason.
So then how would you replace the workers in those sectors?
You would have to obviously change the way that the industries are collectively
not realistic.
Operating.
Stop.
Where they absolutely we import so much food from other countries. It depresses the wages for people in this country. Okay, if we produce more in this country and bought on the U.S. soil.
Site? You know, because I mean, we also have to talk about how they support wages and the economy too in this conversation. Like their labor and their spending power keeps business.
I'm not saying they don't contribute.
Demand helps maintain or create more jobs, and that's not ever considered when we have this conversation.
I am not saying they do not contribute to the U.S. economy. Obviously, they do. They do contribute. 100%.
Or net negative.
In my opinion, it's a net negative for other reasons.
I need you to provide me a study or some kind of graph or something that shows that.
How about from subjective experience? Will that help?
You mean from your anecdotal experience is what you're trying to say?
Sure, but it's still an experience that I've had personally.
The word is anecdotal you're looking for. Your personal experience, yes. Go ahead.
So in my trade, I'm a CNC machinist, all right? So I deal with running CNC machines. I program CNC machines. I operate CNC machines, whatever. In my trade, what companies tend to do is they like to hire lower skill workers, sometimes undocumented immigrants, sometimes legal immigrants who have a lower skill level to backfill positions that typically hold a higher standard of skill level. But what they do is they rely on people like me to train those people to be able to do those jobs, therefore paying them less money, hurting people like me from making more money. Okay? And it's happened for years now, not just the past 4 or 5 years. I'm talking 10, 15 years at this point.
Well, hiring low-wage workers to what? To backfill positions? What did you say after that?
To backfill... Did I break up because I'm walking around my shop here?
Yeah, I kind of just disassociated, honestly, but go ahead.
Well, that's not nice. We're trying to have a conversation, aren't we?
I have ADHD. Just say it again.
So, essentially, companies that I've worked for have hired people for less wages for the same skill positions that I have or I had. I would train them on similar types of work that would typically be for somebody with a higher skill set. So they would bring these people in as operators, running machines and backfilling positions where they would try to obviously increase productivity. But in the meantime, they're paying them less money and they're paying people like me less money that have a higher skill set because they don't have to pay people like me with a higher skill set when they can just find somebody to make less money to do the same thing that I'm doing. And I'm training them.
Okay.
So I'm giving them all the tools that they need to do what I'm doing. Okay. Not entirely everything that I'm doing, but just the generalized gist of what I do. So they're basically paying them less money to do the same type of job that somebody with a higher skill set has, which depresses my chance of making more money.
So here's the issue with your argument. In my opinion, you're letting your employer off the hook. They're the ones setting the wages. They're the ones choosing to hire them at the bottom of the labor market, not undocumented immigrants. So if we want higher pay for workers in this industry, the target is the bosses and the rules, not the workers scrambling to survive. You don't blame the worker in any of these situations, undocumented or not. Your issue, your boogeyman you're looking for, is your employer. This is the issue that I have. I'm not saying there are not circumstances like this that exist. That would be ridiculous to claim that, and there are not exceptions. But the boogeyman you're looking for is your employer in this circumstance. We shouldn't be taking that out on undocumented workers, okay?
Well, my point is, if these people weren't here, there would be less of a pool to pick from to fill those jobs.
Yeah, but
it does depress wages.
Yeah, so the real problem in the cases you're talking about, right, is corporate power, not the immigrants. Businesses will always try and pay the lowest wage they can get away with, right, which is the issue I talked about previously with setting the federal minimum wage. Whether the workers are documented, undocumented, guest workers, doesn't matter. Companies exploit low-wage labor. So this is the issue you need to be focusing on, not that blaming undocumented people. Employers specifically exploit workers. Not because undocumented but you're trying to make the argument that undocumented workers specifically magically cause lower wages. This happens with documented people too. This happens with people H-2As. This happens with all sorts of different types of workers. It's not specific to undocumented people. The solution is stronger unions. The solution is wage enforcement. Let's raise the minimum wage. We need more worker protections, not kicking out the lowest paid workers. That's the issue with your argument. I'm not saying it's not true. I'm just saying that you have the wrong boogeyman.
Okay, but when you increase minimum wage, you hurt smaller businesses and you help bigger corporations.
Where are you getting this from?
It's how many businesses went under during COVID because they couldn't afford to pay their fucking people.
Yeah, that's an entirely different circumstance.
It's all part of the same issue. When a bigger corporation can pay somebody I live in Massachusetts, so a bigger corporation will pay somebody $15 an hour to run a cash register. A small mom and pop shops has to pay that same amount because it's minimum wage, $15 an hour in the state. They're paying them $15 an hour.
When you raise wages, you reduce turnover. Most importantly, you boost the demand of the position. Okay, this helps the business. This helps the business. There's tons of research on this. It's not true. Higher pay often improves many things. Performance is another one.
I don't disagree with that. Okay, fine. But my point is, if a big corporation is paying somebody $15 an hour, they don't give a shit because they're a big corporation. They can afford to pay Joe Schmo.
But it's not true though, because better pay means, when I said less turnover, that means fewer training costs. They pay a lot for training. It costs money to train people, right?
Sure.
So you're saving money through reducing training costs and things like this. There's tons of research on this that minimum wage increase typically kills job vacancies, not existing jobs.
I don't know what studies you're talking about, but I'm just speaking from experience from what I'm dealing with.
So it's your claim. I don't have to cite a study, but I will if you want me to. Can you give me the data that you have that it hurts big businesses or small businesses? Because it's the opposite. Obviously, small businesses are more affected by training costs and things like that. That's why I'm bringing them up than big businesses.
They would be more affected by if they're making less money. They have to look at the bottom line and budget differently than a big ass corporation.
But when it reduces the turnover rate, it saves the business money.
Sure, but if you're going to pay somebody $15 an hour to run a cash register in a mom and pop shop and they quit they're going to have to find somebody to make that same amount, whatever. They're going to have to train somebody to make that same amount of money.
What is
they're not? They're going to have more turnover.
Wages right now?
$7.25.
I would say. Do you think that's a livable wage? Do you think we could at least move it up to a livable wage? Do you think people can?
What do you consider a livable wage?
More than $15, but you're saying $15 would be a good start. But I would say more than that. I think it should be $20. Honestly, but $15. You think $7.25 is a livable wage?
I don't think many people make $7.25 anymore. I think that states have passed minimum wage laws.
It's not true. That's the point I'm making. Is there are not enough worker protections. That's why I said before, your focus on undocumented immigrants as the villain, as the boogeyman, is the issue. That businesses always try and exploit workers. That's the problem. It's not undocumented.
Okay, but if you had less of a pool to pick from, there's less of a chance of that occurring.
No.
And when they bring in undocumented immigrants and whatever, they can pay them less money and give them less benefits than somebody who may be making a little bit more money and same benefits.
Not because of the presence of undocumented workers. Your story is backwards.
You're gonna tell me that you're gonna
low-wage labor because employers can under weak labor enforcement, not because of the presence of undocumented immigrants. You're simply citing the wrong boogeyman. You have a problem with the wrong population. You have the problem with the wrong person. Your issue needs to be with the employer. Have you ever brought this up with your employer? Have you ever addressed this with your employer? They do this regardless. That's why I'm saying it's backwards. Not because undocumented workers magically cause low wages. There are solutions to this problem that don't involve deportation, stronger unions, wage enforcement, worker protections, increased worker protections.
Unions don't protect everybody, dude. That's a scam.
Which is why
I've worked with the unions before.
Wait, you said unions are a scam? I just said stronger unions, first of all. That's
how are you going to get stronger unions?
By voting Democrat, by not voting for anti-union presidents. No, I mean, honestly, you're being
Trump supported unions. He's a moderate. He's not a conservative.
Break. Trump supports unions. Are you going to cite the Teamsters?
No, I mean, I'm sure he had representatives from the unions on stage with him at multiple rallies.
You really are going to argue Trump is in favor of the worker? Come on. I mean, this is just too stupid to even entertain.
Well, that's like saying Democrats are in favor of the worker, too. What have they done for anybody, really? How have they made anybody's lives better?
Democrats are advocating for increasing the federal minimum wage. That certainly helps the worker. I mean, Democrats have done a lot more than Republicans. It's not even.
How many times have Democrats been in? Did Obama increase the federal minimum wage?
Trump is a fascist. No, presidents.
Don't jump to a new topic. I'm asking you a question. Did Obama raise the minimum wage?
So you think the president waves a wand? Like, what are we asking here? I'm saying that your president doesn't support the idea of raising a minimum wage.
Because he wants to leave it up to the states.
No,
there's nothing wrong with that.
The businesses. That's what he wants to do.
Sure, but you can assume that. But his words are he wanted it to be relegated to the states, and that's what he said.
Right,
if you take that as if you take that as he's not for the worker or whatever the case, that's fine. That's your opinion. But what he said was
you're being disingenuous, dude. When you say things like, "Did Joe Biden raise the federal minimum wage?" Like, you know that
Obama.
Okay, but you know the president doesn't wave a fucking wand to raise the minimum.
So why are you complaining about Trump saying that about federal minimum wage?
It. Biden did want to raise the federal minimum wage. It was a part of his campaign. It's not a part of Trump's plan. Biden backed increasing it to $15 an hour, right? It would have lifted tens of millions of people out of poverty. Trump opposes that. Okay? So I'm just simply pointing out the fact that the guy you support doesn't support the idea of raising it. I'm not saying that he can by himself.
So why didn't they pass a law in Congress then?
They tried.
I know he signed an executive order, which is
they
kind of ridiculous, but
yeah, they tried. Democrats tried to.
Well, Democrats didn't try hard enough. Apparently, they don't really care about anybody.
I know. Lack of votes means not trying hard enough. I mean, I'm not going to explain this to you, but it's Biden. The point is, Biden wanted to raise the minimum wage, but it got blocked by a Senate procedure, and that's totally different than saying your president doesn't support it. Your president, even if he had the opportunity, wouldn't raise the federal minimum wage, and that's the point I'm making. You support a guy who doesn't want to lift millions of people out of poverty. He'd rather support big business, and that's the problem. By the way, let me
saying and doing are two different things.
Let me ask you a question, like just morally. Do you think that the deportation operation has been executed properly or necessary?
Do I think it say that again? Did you say necessary?
The deportation operation has been executed appropriately and that the consequences have been necessary?
Do I think it's been executed appropriately? I mean, I think anything can be done better. There's no perfect way to do something like that.
You're not outraged at all at the way they've conducted this operation?
I think that their having lack of state support has attributed to a lot of this, of the tragedies that have happened, sure.
Wow. Here you go again, blaming the wrong person. What do you mean by that?
I think that under Obama, there was more state support when it came to these types of engagements, and under Trump there's been way more pushback.
He wasn't even doing close
Obama
to the
deported more people, dude.
So can you tell me, so you're blaming the people die? Yeah, do you know how, do you think he executed these operations the same way Trump is executing them? You think there were agents dressed in fatigues occupying these cities in the United States and assaulting American citizens and demanding people show their identification? Don't even fucking start, dude. It wasn't even close to the same thing. You probably didn't even know what was happening under Obama. I'm not saying I support everything Obama did. I can point out the fact that I disagreed with many things, and I'm definitely opposed to U.S. immigration policy as a whole. That being said, don't even claim they're the same thing. Donald Trump's deportation operation has been unprecedented. We've seen him. These are thousands of agents in Minnesota dressed in fatigues with masks on, refusing to identify themselves, assaulting American citizens. That didn't happen under Biden. So what I'm saying is that a necessary consequence to achieve your goal of deportation. Do you think that
when you have people videotaping you in your fucking face, doxing yourself and your family every single day, what do you expect?
All right, let's pull up a video real quick. I'm going to show you something, right? Here's a video of me exercising my constitutional right with ICE agents, right? And they threaten that they know me, the exact opposite of what you just said. I never said anything about who they are or anything like that. It's hard to hear in the video, but in this video here, these ICE agents, quite literally, say they know who I am.
There's an ICE agent. Look at that. He's got a ski mask on, folks.
That's not the right one. Hold on. Not the right one. These fucking ICE agents were threatening people on a daily basis. People, they were doing the exact same thing. You know that, right? You know that, right? They were filming and claiming, we know who you are, and they had, like, software to identify who people were and all this bullshit, and they created a database of people, what they don't like it happening to them.
Sure, but haven't they created databases for years now when it came to like guns and all sorts of shit back in under Obama?
No, not in this circumstance, no. Not in this.
They didn't create databases, Republican databases for voters under Obama?
Republican databases. I'm not sure what you're referring to.
Yes, people that voted for Republicans, they were doxing Republicans under Obama.
Who did? Obama?
Not Obama,
so
the government.
What are you talking about? They doxed them. Who? Who were you talking about?
People. Random people, citizens.
Is not an answer. What the fuck are you talking about? I have no idea what you're talking about. You're saying under Obama, there were people who were doxing Republicans? I don't even know what that means. I honestly have no idea what you're talking about. Straight up. I have absolutely no fucking clue what you're talking about. It sounds like something weird. But the point is, this deportation operation, right? ICE agents had masks on. They're supposed to be identifying themselves. They had masks on. They're filming us, right? They're claiming they know who we are. We're quite literally just exercising our rights. Actually, let me pull this video up because I don't have this other one on YouTube, so I can't.
Can I just point something out quick before you do the video?
No, I want to show the chat what these ICE agents look like. You guys tell me if this is an appropriate attire for a federal agent.
Here we go. There's an ICE agent. Look at that. He's got a ski mask on, folks. A literal ski mask on his face. Look at that. That is an ICE agent you're looking at right now, wearing a ski mask. A literal ski mask. Here we go.
A literal ski mask like you would break into a home with, that guy had on his face before he goes out in the community and starts assaulting people, kicking doors in. I mean, these guys, I can't even, they broke so many laws, it's insane. But, I mean, claiming that that's normal is, I honestly, I mean, you've got to be sick. You got to be really sick.
Nobody's saying it's normal, but again, if you have people doxing your family and going after your family, taking pictures of your license plate, following where you live, what do you think is going to happen?
They didn't even use
what's that?
They didn't even use license
the fucking dude. There were
that never happened.
groups. There were groups in Minnesota that had fucking signal chat.
Yeah, I'm aware
that they were.
I'm aware. I chased away the clown. I chased away the clown Cam Higbee that leaked that.
Okay, the point is they were doxing people, and people's lives were being threatened on a daily basis.
So was ICE, but I'm just going to let you know right now.
It doesn't mean it's right, dude.
Those were rental cars. Those were rental cars.
Sure, it doesn't mean it's right.
By plate. They weren't even doing it by plate. They weren't even doing it by plate. They literally had no license plates. They were blacking them out. Like, how are you going to dox on a rental car?
Why did they black them out? Because people were fucking doing it. So they had to start blacking them out.
Because they didn't want to be identified because they were committing crimes.
God.
I'm telling you.
They didn't, dude. Okay.
Dude, why are you bootlicking so much for big government and big employers? Like, do you understand?
Because you're saying two wrong. You're saying one wrong makes a right, and the other wrong is wrong.
No, you're.
There were two. Oh, sure, they were both wrong.
Government, like you did for big business 5 minutes ago when we had this conversation. What I'm telling you is that ICE agents, federal agents, came into a city of innocent people and started brutalizing the community. Not
innocent.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
What are you talking about? You think everyone in Minnesota is guilty of something? They're some of the nicest people you've ever met, by the way. Like, clearly you don't have any feelings for other human beings, but I do. And the people in Minnesota are some of the kindest, most gentlest people ever, and just wanted to be left alone. And I watched ICE agents brutalize and destroy their community, pull guns on them, kick in doors without any warrants, kill them, punch them in the face, pepper spray them in the face.
You saw them kill people in front of you?
I didn't see people get killed in front of me, but I went to where
I thought that's what you just said.
No, I watched people get assaulted, though, many times.
Oh, were they interfering with operations?
I was face-to-face with them. Nope. ICE agents
would Did they assault you?
They pushed me and stuff, yeah.
Were you in their way of their operations that they were doing?
I'll explain what happened.
Okay.
So at the federal Whipple building where they were detaining these individuals, we were protesting on the sidewalk. The sheriff's department was present. Hennepin County Sheriff's Department was present. They would come out every single night for, every 45 minutes or so. Sometimes it would just be a few of them, and sometimes it would be a line of people dressed in fatigues. This is all on my channel. You can go watch. I'm sure there's videos. If you guys just type in TikTok, Adam Cray ICE, you'll see a bunch of videos pull up. They would line up in fatigues. They would walk towards us and just start shoving us, pushing us, pepper spraying us. They would arrest a few people, and they'd go back in. These are federal agents there to enforce civil immigration law with no jurisdiction over the American population. Why the fuck are they coming out of a building to a public sidewalk to shove and assault American citizens? By the way, a couple of them have been indicted, and there's a lot more to come for their actions that they've committed in Minnesota over this period of time. But yes, there's several different examples I can give you. And
by the state of Minnesota?
Yes.
So by the AG that was involved in that signal scandal?
Hennepin County is prosecuting these cases.
Not the state, the county?
Yeah, Hennepin County.
So is the AG that was involved in that signal scam part of this prosecution?
No, I don't know what you're talking about. No, that's not true. Whatever you're saying. So
it absolutely is. She was part of the signal scam.
I don't know what you're talking about. What do you mean part of it?
She was part of the scam that they were pulling in Minnesota when they were fucking. The only way for them to get the information for the
I keep saying part of it. It's the Hennepin County. This is Mary Moriarty, and that's the agency prosecuting. This is Hennepin County.
The county is different from. I'm talking about the state.
I'm talking about
the county is
as
obviously
I said
different.
multiple times. Hennepin County Attorney's Office is prosecuting. This is where it occurred. This is
And has anybody been indicted? Has anybody been convicted yet?
Well, clearly not. People don't get convicted that quick. This has to be brought to a grand jury. They have to be indicted. They were indicted. Christian Castro and that Gregory Donnell Morgan Jr. guy have both been indicted. There's nationwide arrest warrants for them right now. And one of them, right, by the way, 517 Vicky, thank you for the $1.99 super chat. Guys, I'd appreciate contributing to the gifting goal if you want. Like in the live, all that. You can also support here. I'll put in the chat. So the point is, right, is that I'm asking you whether or not you think it's a necessary sacrifice for the people that were harmed during the course of this operation. Do you condemn or think that it was a necessary sacrifice what occurred there? It's indisputable that people were harmed. People died. Do you think Alex Preddy was in the wrong? Let's just talk about Alex Preddy really quick. Was his death justified?
So this is what I'm going to say about Alex Preddy. Okay.
Here we go.
I watched the video. No. I'm not saying what happened was right because obviously it shouldn't have happened. But with that being said, when they pushed him, when he put him on the ground, okay, and the cop, the agent took the gun out of his waistband, okay. If you watch the video that's across the street, that gun went off in that agent's hand.
Bullshit.
Okay. It did. You can see the bullet hit the ground. I'm dead serious. Watch the video.
All, if the agent pulled the trigger on the firearm, that would be his fault and would have nothing to do with his death. Number two,
I don't disagree, but my whole
it doesn't change the fact, but the firearm didn't go off. And by the way, why is the federal government blocking the state from investigating this case? Why are they refusing to investigate this case in cooperation with the state in which it happened? Why is the federal government, if it's so cut and dry, right, and it was just a mistake, why the hell is the federal government blocking them from doing their investigative duties?
Dude, nobody's saying it's cut and dry. Everybody saw what happened.
So then why not let Minnesota do it? Why are
because there's nuance to what happened. It's not just the officer pulled the gun off of him and then they killed him.
Yes, it is.
Just because.
Yes, it is.
That gun. Hold on. That gun.
Investigation.
The gun went off, dude, in the fucking officer's hand.
No.
You could see the bullet hit the ground. I'm dead serious.
Just to be clear,
people need to watch that video.
Just to be clear, I have watched it. Just to be clear about this changes nothing anyway. So I don't even know why you're bringing it up. The point is,
I'm bringing it up because
he was shot by multiple different people. He clearly did not have a firearm in his fucking hands. You could see his.
Okay.
I mean, what the fuck?
Sure, but the gun, as soon as the guy fucking walked away with the gun, he put one leg up, that gun went off. Okay? It hit the bullet hit the fucking ground. They're all tangling with each other.
Bullshit.
They don't know what the fuck is going on. Okay?
That's nope.
It's just shit like that it's a tragedy. It shouldn't have fucking happened in the first place.
Tragedy. So
it is. I agree. It's a fucking tragedy.
What gave the authority for those ICE agents to slam him on the ground, disarm him, and shoot him? Multiple ICE agents shot him, by the way, not one.
For weeks before leading up to that event, he was doxing ICE officers.
Shut up.
He's on video weeks before.
Again? Oh my God.
No, this is the truth.
Pathetic. I mean, you're pathetic. You really are.
Adam, is it not the truth?
No. So they thought that what they said was that he was a part of protests and was involved in kicking out a taillight. There's been some disputes about that whole thing, but regardless, none of this justifies his fucking death. The point is these ICE agents were not trained, clearly underqualified, and they violated the constitutional rights of American citizen. American citizen was killed for exercising his constitutional rights. And I'm asking you very straightforward, is that a necessary? Don't call it a tragedy. It was murder. It was murder. That's what it was. So I'm asking you, was that a necessary consequence of this deportation operation you consider so important to the future of this country because you don't like that your company is like, I don't know, paying people, minimum wage workers or something like that?
That event in particular, that event in particular stands out separate from the other stuff we're talking about.
You can't separate them.
Why not?
Because it's a part of this whole thing. It is a direct consequence of your support for Trump. I have told
absolutely not. Because if Alex Preddy did that for
the death of Alex Preddy,
if Alex Preddy was involved with regular, plain old police officers involved in an investigation, started getting involved in it, stopping them, preventing them from doing what they had to do, the same thing possibly could have happened. It doesn't matter if it was an ICE officer or a regular police officer.
So can you tell me,
it could have happened to anybody.
Was Ashley Babbitt's death justified?
Ooh, that's a good question. Was Ashley Babbitt's death justified? Hold on, let me think about that.
Suddenly, the standards are about to change, folks.
No. That's a good question because
that's why
she was unarmed. She was unarmed.
They didn't know that.
Did they?
She was climbing in a broken window. So no, she really wasn't unarmed. She broke the window, right? She was a part of breaking the window.
The window was broken before she tried to go through.
She was a part of the group that was breaking the window. Mary, thank you so much for the Venmo, Mary. Appreciate you, Mary. Thank you so much for the Venmo, Mary. She was a part of the group that broke, the Proud Boys that broke in that window and were climbing the window.
It wasn't the Proud Boys. Come on.
Excuse me. Did they ask her to stand down multiple times? She was actually given legal instruction to stop, right? Multiple times and didn't. Alex Preddy was slammed on the ground, disarmed, and shot. No, he wasn't. He wasn't doing anything.
He was told to stand on the other side of the street.
He wasn't breaking the law.
Okay, sure.
Was she breaking the law?
If you're interfering with an investigation, you're interfering with law and with the law.
He was not interfering with the investigation. We're not going to suddenly change to make it match your narrative. He was not interfering with the investigation. He's within his right to stand on the side of the street and film ICE agents. I'm asking you a question. Was she breaking the law? Yes or no?
Is the Capitol building a public building?
It wasn't that day because there was a constitutionally protected process going on, the certification. The Capitol building was closed that day. Ellen, thank you so much, Ellen. The Capitol building wasn't open, my guy. What was going on what was happening January 6th?
There were 26 FBI agents and fucking
no, there wasn't.
Pushing people to do bad things.
No, there wasn't. That's not true either. Can you tell me really quick?
There's a DOJ. There's a House report that just came out saying
House report? You mean House Republicans? Yeah, I know they've made this.
Hey, it's a report.
For a long time. Yeah, except the FBI.
It's a report.
Except there's no evidence that it's true. But let's just before we get into your conspiracies, why was the Capitol closed that day?
Because they were having a vote.
So you're admitting that it was closed.
Sure.
Cool. So the Capitol building.
Well, police officers did open the barricades and let people in.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't.
Come on.
No, they didn't.
Come on.
No, they didn't. I've studied this in depth. No, they didn't. They were beaten and hit with flagpoles and brutalized and forced. They forced their way through, and they entered through a broken window. Right near the
Is this on video that they got beat with flagpoles?
Yeah, it is on video. And it's also on video the first entry to the building by the Columbus doors. They broke a window and got inside. But
yes, I remember that. Yep, sure.
Before you try and change the conversation, this was a closed government building. She was breaking in a closed government building while the crowd is chanting they want to hang the vice president to stop a constitutionally protected process. And you now can't tell me whether or not her death was justified. You can't tell me whether or not that wasn't just a tragedy like Alex Preddy.
I think that people were encouraged through federal agents and other bad actors to do bad things.
So you're passing the buck.
But do I think that her death was justified? I don't think any death is justified. Under those circumstances.
What I mean is, in terms of his use of lethal force, right? Because what you're claiming, right, is that it's just a tragedy when Alex Preddy, who's not at all breaking the law and simply exercising his constitutional rights, gets killed. And you can't give me a straightforward answer when it comes to a Republican, a MAGA supporter, breaking in a closed government building to do God knows what to elected officials. I do know the crowd was chanting, "Hang Mike Pence," so they had a pretty good idea. You see how your standards
Well, when people
change?
protest, they say very bad things. I mean, on both sides. You can't equate what they're saying about Mike Pence to what people say about Trump.
Yeah, but the
and what they say about Trump in the streets. It's the same thing.
Well, the difference is it was coordinated in the sense that they built a gallows. They broke in the building. They were actually hunting elected officials who had to be ushered to safety, and they did successfully interrupt a constitutionally protected process in accomplishing that goal. Over 1,000 people were criminally charged. I mean, this is not some little thing. I mean, this was definitely a coordinated attempt to stop
Trespassing, misdemeanor trespassing.
It wasn't trespassing. It was assault with a deadly weapon on a police officer.
90-something% of those people were charged with misdemeanor trespassing. Come on, dude.
So first of all, right, there was tons of people charged in this case, right? Let's see how many people were charged. Let's look this up. So 700 people were charged with felony offenses stemming from January 6th. Assault or obstructing police, weapons charges. Roughly 180 individuals faced felony charges for using or carrying dangerous or deadly weapons in or on Capitol grounds, destruction or theft of property, and seditious conspiracy. Right? You had people who were charged, like with the Oath Keepers, for seditious conspiracy, which is a pretty severe felony. So you have, out of 1,500 individuals, right, almost 800 of them were charged with felonies. That's
725.
Eddie, thank you so much, Eddie. So that right there proves that it was exactly what I said. It was a coordinated effort in which they successfully stopped a constitutionally protected process for the president, which many of them stated to the police when they were being interrogated, by the way. But it's just funny. I was just pointing out the fact, guys, you see how the standards change when we're talking about a MAGA person breaking into the Capitol building from Alex Preddy exercising his constitutional right because this guy doesn't agree with what they were protesting about. And by the way, there were no federal agents that were enticing people to go inside. There's one person they claimed was, right?
Ray Epps.
Yeah, Ray Epps. But they don't have any proof any other federal agents were enticing people to go inside. That's a crock of shit. Donald Trump enticed
They have
them to go
proof that they were there. They were actually paid for on the dole for being there. That's what the House investigation uncovered.
So what's the proof?
The proof is that they were stationed there on that fucking day in plain clothes.
So they have proof that how many agents?
26. This is what they said. What you can believe it or not.
I know what they said. I know what they said. What I'm saying is they're full of shit. It's Republicans saying this bullshit.
Okay, but if Democrats said that, you would believe them?
No, because there's no proof, right? So what the claim is, just to clarify for everyone in here, is that there were people who were informants, and the reason you had informants was because you had like organized militia groups there. Not that there were FBI agents, okay? There were informants who were present out of the thousands of people who were there that day. But let's be super clear. Any claim about an FBI agent comes directly from Kash Patel. So there are two different claims made here. But your claim was that they enticed them to go inside or they encouraged them to go insid. Do you know I know that's not true?
Hold on. They said out of the 26 informants, and this is with the House investigation, whatever.
It's Republicans. Yeah.
Out of the 26 informants, okay, fine. 3 of them were specifically tasked by the FBI to report on domestic terrorism targets. One of these 3 individuals entered the Capitol building.
That wasn't your
claim.
What's that? Well, that still wasn't your claim, and although I still don't believe that, that's not your claim. Your claim was that they
the other
encouraged them to go
23
inside.
the other 23 informants were in the area.
Inside. You claimed they encouraged them to go inside. That's not fucking true. Okay?
So when one of them goes inside the building, that's possibly not encouraging other people to go inside the building?
No.
One of them entered the Capitol.
So wait, I think the people who initially entered, who were the Proud Boys, who were criminally prosecuted, right, for this, were the people who encouraged other people to go inside. Those people did that, admittedly, because they thought the president wanted them to. Those were the people that got people to go inside. The people who broke into the Capitol building and then, started destroying
The president
property
didn't want anybody to walk into the building and destroy property. No, he did not.
Really?
He said walk over peacefully. That's what he said.
Have you ever read the third criminal indictment?
Peacefully and respectfully.
Have you ever read the third criminal indictment?
On who?
Conspiracy to defraud the United States on Trump. There was 4. There was a third. There was 2 federal ones. One was willful retention of classified documents, obstruction of justice, and then there was a conspiracy to defraud the United States. The superseding indictment for the third criminal indictment. Did you read it?
I did not.
Then that's why you don't know. The proof is there, and had that case been prosecuted, it would have been laid out for you along with a forensic audit of Donald Trump's cell phone. During the course of the insurrection, Donald Trump was sitting in the White House dining hall as people were begging him to come out and tell people to go home. Over 3 hours, he watched that unfold on Fox News. He watched them storm the United States Capitol. He was even approached and told, hey, they're about to hang your vice president. They're about to hang the vice president, Mr. President. Please go out and stop them. And he said, who cares? So
he said that verbatim?
Yes. So very specifically, right, his lack of action proves his intent. Because I can talk about provocative language and prove like constitutionally he should have been disqualified because he engaged in insurrection according to Section 3 of the 14th Amendment. I don't need to even play that game with you because all I have to prove is the fact that he didn't do anything for the 3 hours it was happening. They were there because of him. They were angry because of him, and they stormed the Capitol because of him. And anyone who didn't want something like that to happen would have came out immediately and said, guys, this isn't at all what I meant. If I encouraged my chat one day, right, to commit some act of violence against a politician and I had some way to contact, they went and did that, or they went stormed a building, and I would immediately get online and be like, guys, that's not at all what I meant, blah, blah, blah. I wouldn't sit there and watch it happen.
He tweeted 2:30 that same day, please support our Capitol Police and law enforcement. They are truly on our side of our country. Stay peaceful.
He didn't tell people
A couple minutes later, I am asking for everyone at the U.S. Capitol to remain peaceful, no violence.
He did not tell
Remember,
people
we
to
are the
go
party
home.
of law.
The Capitol
we are the
is
party
closed.
of law and order.
The Capitol is
I'm
closed.
telling you what he
and I'm telling you, none
posted
of
this
it included
while that was happening.
And again, none of it deliberately included go home. The Capitol building is closed. Why are you telling people don't do this? They're not even supposed to be inside the Capitol building. Insurrection refers to interrupting a constitutionally protected process, interfering with our democracy. That's what he wanted to happen. That was his goal. Not for them to smear feces on the wall, but to stop the certification, which they effectively did. That's what we mean when we say insurrection.
You're complaining that he made the speech at 4:00. An hour and 45 minutes prior to that speech, he tweeted for people to be peaceful.
Yeah, you're talking
and that's
about
still
on
a problem.
Twitter. He did not come out and tell people to go home, which was my exact statement. By the way, dude, you want to know the distinct difference? What happened when he actually came out and told people to go home? What happened? People went home. Notice the difference.
All right,
so when he came out, when he actually did eventually agree to come out and tell people to go home, they did. And you know how we know all of this? Because there's videos you can watch and see, and people were prosecuted, right, for this, for inciting this and participating in this, screaming on a megaphone what Donald Trump was saying, what Donald Trump wanted us to do, screaming the instructions, right? None of which included go home. Had he come out immediately and said, go home, guess what? They would have went home like they did 3 hours later when he came out and told people to go home.
So are you upset at Nancy Pelosi for not encouraging the mayor to increase National Guard presence the
Nancy
day before?
Pelosi doesn't have authority over the National Guard. Donald Trump is
Who does?
Donald Trump.
In the city of D.C.?
Who controls the National
When it comes
Guard
to the
in
Capitol?
Who controls the National Guard?
We're talking about the Capitol.
So
We're
then
talking
tell me
about the
why.
Capitol.
Then tell me why Donald Trump has been able. No, it's not just the Capitol, dude. It's that you have to have. Who has the control over the National Guard? Who has the ultimate authority over the National Guard?
The ultimate authority is obviously the president, which he requested the day before.
Nobody can tell the president no. Okay, if people could tell the president no, then why is the D.C. still deployed in Washington, D.C.? Why is the National Guard, D.C., still deployed in Washington, D.C.? Why? Why was he able to utilize his executive authority to deploy the National Guard for logistics and security in Washington, D.C. if he doesn't have those capabilities? If it was just as easy for someone in Congress to say, no, you can't do that, don't you think they would have stopped it as Democrats were heavily opposed to their presence? He just exercised his executive authority with the National Guard in D.C. So clearly he has that executive authority and no one can tell him no because he's exercising it right now.
I mean, the national fine, but either way, the point is that there were requests asked of before January 6th even began, and for whatever reason, none of those requests were granted.
Because Donald Trump didn't want him there. Because Donald Trump wanted this to happen. And as much as he tries to make you believe he didn't, he did. And the fact that he sat in the White House dining hall for 3 hours during the course of it happening proves intent. That by itself proves intent. And that would have been a part of his criminal case, proving with a forensic audit of his cell phone, right, that he was sitting, scrolling on the internet, looking at what people were saying about what was happening.
So why did Muriel Bowser request?
This guy's just going to keep saying, what about? Donald Trump has the
I'm
ultimate
asking a question.
Authority. No, Donald Trump has the ultimate authority. You still haven't. I've already proven the point, dude. We're beating a dead horse. I already proved the point.
What point are you
Donald
proving?
Trump didn't want this to happen, he would have came out and told people to go home when they were asking him to do so. People like very close to him were approaching him and telling him to do this. There's proof. Okay, it was a part of his criminal indictment.
He tweeted at 2:30, dude,
and didn't tell people to go home. You're just proving my point.
Why does he need to babysit and tell people to go home,
because
dude?
He's the reason,
not their fucking dad.
Hold on. You said, why does he need to babysit? Because he's the reason they're there. He's the reason they're pissed off. Why do you think the American people are mad? Because the president of the United States is telling them that the election was stolen from them. What do you think? This is just some regular guy?
So why are you blaming him and not blaming the people?
Because he's the person who came up with the lie and perpetuated the lie and then held a Stop the Steal rally to perpetuate the lie further and tell that same group of people they were about to lose their country in 15 minutes if they didn't fight like hell. That's why. Had Donald Trump conceded the election, it never would have happened. Had Donald Trump not perpetuated the narrative, it never would have happened. Donald Trump is responsible. States properly apply. By the way, do you support the Constitution at all? Because you can't deny that he did engage. Do you support the Constitution?
No.
Oh, I figured that.
I'm all for anarchy.
I figured that. Anyway, have a good day.
Oh my
I gotta
God.
Go.
All right, take it easy.
Call back again. All right, guys. I'm tired. Jesus Christ. Like you can deflect as much as you want, but go read the superseding indictment for the third criminal indictment. Donald Trump did not do shit during that 3 hours except to watch it unfold. Because he wanted it to happen. Because he wanted it to happen. That's why. Guys, I appreciate everybody who contributed to the gifting goal, the 4 of you or whatever. I don't know, not a lot of people contributed to the goal here tonight, which affects the algorithm too, by the way. If we don't do that, it doesn't go on the FYP. Ellen, thank you so much. Thank you for those of you that did contribute. I appreciate you. Let me check and make sure, see if the Knicks are winning here. Yep, the Knicks are winning with 3 minutes left to go. They're going to go up 2-0 over the Cavs. Guys, real quick, this weirdo in the chat. Look at this weirdo in the chat. Oh my God, what the fuck? You're a weirdo, dude. You're a fucking weirdo. I love you guys. Appreciate you. Hope you have a good night. I will see you guys tomorrow. Everyone doing all right? Dude, there were so many weirdos in here today. Did you notice that? So many crybabies. Why are MAGA such crybabies? You ever wonder that? Why are they such crybabies? Guys, don't forget to hit the subscribe button too. I noticed that people forget to hit the subscribe button because you're just clicking the channel and watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much, Annette. I really appreciate you, Annette. Thank you. Book Nerd, thank you so much. Appreciate you. Yeah, I saw that, Ilmatic. That one guy was insufferable, yeah. Well, they typically are. A lot of deflection. The one argument was really important because I'm really tired of these guys trying to blame undocumented immigrants for depressing wages, right? And then letting powerful employers and big business off the hook when they're the ones setting the wages and choosing to hire at the bottom of the labor market. If we want higher pay for U.S. workers, the target is the employer, the bosses, the corporations, not the worker. In what world do we blame the worker? Thank you so much for that, Turtle. Appreciate you. Thank you, Deborah. Appreciate you, Deborah. But, yeah. This guy has 600 different accounts, and he just keeps coming in he thinks it's cool to have 900 accounts. What a weirdo. There's got to be something better to do with your time, bro. There's got to be. All right, love you guys. Take care. Because he's a weirdo. Can you guys think about having 600 accounts on YouTube? How much of a goof you have to be? You got to be a real goof because you have to make emails and stuff to make those accounts. So that's a level of goofy that it's kind of disturbing. Exactly, 16. Never in any world am I going to blame the worker. You know what I mean? $7.25 federal minimum wage is just insane. Thank you, Droshky. Appreciate you. All right, everybody. Love you guys. Take care. See you later. See you tomorrow. Appreciate you, Nayland.